Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the game of the year in the state of Pennsylvania. High school football is live here on Bob Long Sports. It's LaSalle College High School, 4-0 and number 3 in the state, hosting number 1, St. Joseph's Prep, with the target on their back. Bob Long, Rob Stott, and Tyler Kern alongside. So excited to be with you here this evening. Rob, this is just going to be a tremendous football game. It's one we've been looking forward to for a long time. LaSalle steadily rising in the rankings. St. Joseph's Prep, 3 national tests. Leading into this game, they're 1-2, but they were in every single game they've played. They figured out how to win the close one against St. John's, lost 2 close ones against Marietta and IMG. This team is battle-tested, and now it's time to turn their attention to the state of PA.
And they've taken very different paths to this game, Bob. LaSalle, they have their schedule that they like to stick to start this year off, coming in on a slate of 4-0, entering on a high. Both teams get the bye coming into this week. And an extra week to prepare for probably, no matter the rankings in the state, no matter the rankings nationally, these two teams know one another. This is a contest they're constantly ready for, that they're always ready for every year. And, it's the rivalry game. It's St. Joe's LaSalle, and they're very much looking forward to it, and I think so are we. Tyler,
quickly here before we get to the national anthem, you played in this game. What was it like for you to step into the cauldron as a defensive lineman for a game like this?
So it's just a game you look forward to every year, whether you're on the bench or you're starting on the line. It's just you always want to be prep, and despite the rankings, you just got to bring it.
Couple of high-level commits on both sides of the field. St. Joe's Prep, led by Kyle McCord and Marvin Harrison, along with Jeremiah Trotter on the defensive side of the ball. For LaSalle, Dylan Traynor, the linebacking core is strong with him and the sophomore Abdul Carter. Jack Machida, the quarterback, and Sam Brown, the running back, have been a 1-2 punch that have been fantastic this year as well. It'll be those guys going at it here tonight. The game of the year in high school football, and it's live here on Bob Long Sports. We'll take a break and come back for kickoff next. Live here on BLS, Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern, Alex Kirstowski on the camera. Stay tuned.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
I chose CCM because I have found that this company, on the level of scaling that we have here, the volume that we are doing, to truly have every department head and employee fully engaged in the mission of the company to make it an originator-focused, production-first company. I have not found that anywhere I've worked, and I've worked at one of the largest banks in the world, down to the smallest tiny community bank and correspondent lender. No one has been able to consistently deliver that message.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report live on Bob Long Sports. Today we're going to talk about the offensive line and our man of the hour, the chef, the man himself, Des Holmes and Mike Miranda, your disruptors on the Penn State offensive line.
This year, you're going to see all 4 guys run. They all bring a different style.
The quarterback is going to read the defensive end's eyes and make a determination. Am I going to keep this football or am I going to hand it off to the running back? And that is generally the point of the RPO. Look who we have. We have Chris Perangeli, our guest picker for the evening. And ready for football here on a beautiful Saturday evening. Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern, your broadcast partners here this evening with Alex Krasowski on camera. We are high above Wissahickon High School And it is a full house. No more tickets available this evening. Every seat is packed with folks lining the outside of the building as well. This should be a good one. St. Joe's Prep will receive and get the football first. Jake Gandolfo will kick it deep for the Explorers. And back deep to receive for St. Joseph's Prep, number 2, Samir Higgins. Along with him, number 16, Malik Cooper. Both of those guys we'll see in the wide receiver core, a very deep receiver core here for St. Joe's Prep. Marvin Harrison will play exclusively X, Samir Higgins in the slot, and Malik Cooper in the Z position as this one's angled and goes out of bounds. So illegal procedure will start things, and St. Joe's Prep, great field position with their first offensive possession of the game.
And it's going to be a good one. This is the matchup. I think if you look at this matchup, LaSalle versus St. Joe's, strength versus strength for both of these sides is on the field right now. LaSalle, you mentioned at the top, Bob, led by Dylan Traynor, Ryan Savage as well. Two, strong leaders of this defensive front coming up against St. Joe's offense that, has, as we've seen through the first couple weeks of the season, can stand with any program, nationally ranked or not. It's going to be a good battle all night, I think, Tyler.
Kyle McCord, the quarterback, headed to Ohio State in 2 years. Only a junior. Colby Burrell in the backfield. A quick slant finds Higgins, and Higgins is across midfield.
I think we're going to see the Explorers battling it out all night tonight. One thing they got to do is they got to win in the trenches, whether on offense or defense. Your defensive line's got to get pressure in your front seven. That's your strength, and they need to put pressure on the quarterback in order to make a mistake.
And when they don't, it's going to be plays like that. When you got an Ohio State commit at quarterback in this receiving core, it's going to be a tough one.
The give is to Colby Burrell. Burrell, another 10-plus yards, make it 11. Down to the LaSalle 35-yard line and a first down for the Hawks.
And just a nice job by the left side of that line for the Hawks, creating the seam for Burrell and giving him the space to run up and pick up another first down.
Just a quick look. St. Joe's Prep has some big boys up front, getting some good push from these first two plays.
Matt Lombardi, the left tackle, 6'7", 290. He's headed to Tulane next year. This a screen pass out for Higgins. Good blocking upfield. And Higgins is across inside the 20-yard line. A late flag will come in the area of downfield holding. Maurice Clark, the senior receiver, was in the area.
It's actually going to be a personal foul on the defense. So add on to the end of that run, half the distance to the goal. And already you could tell from St. Joe's the game plan is to get the ball out of their quarterback's hands quick and into space, into the skill position players' hands, and let them go to work against a defensive back that struggled on 3 plays into this game. It's clear that it's going to be a tough test for these guys.
First down and goal to go from the 10-yard line. Colby Burrell, the lone back in this pistol formation. Stevenson, tight end, blocks that way as Burrell, 2-yard gain right up the middle. Good stop there by the linebacker, Dylan Traynor.
Yeah, for the Explorers to have any hope tonight, they need to play fundamental football. They already gave up 2 costly penalties to start within 5 plays. I mean, they gotta bring down these penalties and just kind of play fundamental football. You can't make any mistakes here, especially against a team like St. Joe's Prep.
Clock ticks under 10 minutes, 50 seconds to play in this first quarter. Burrell again up the middle, walks into the end zone. St. Joe's Prep on the board.
And it didn't take long. Just a minute and 21 seconds. Obviously set up with nice field position, but you'll see it here. Burrell takes the handoff in that line. Just a nice seal block, too, there up by the tight end coming across the line, opening it up and allowing Burrell just to walk into the end zone.
Made that look easy. That's what we expect from St. Joe's Prep. They're obviously ranked where they are for a reason, and Explorers just need to kind of play their game here.
It's Antonio Chata, the super sophomore kicker, on to attempt the extra point. And St. Joe's Prep has a 7-0 lead over LaSalle, just a minute 21 into the football game.
Well, St. Joe's coming out and hitting LaSalle squarely in the jaw on their first drive, but it's a long game. LaSalle has an opportunity to get the ball, right back here, and we'll see, what this offense can do. They're going to get a chance on the field here, Tyler, to respond early on.
Yeah, they really got to hone in, like I said, in the trenches. They're getting pushed around up front. What I saw, they're making costly penalties in the 4 or 5 plays that they were out there. And, yeah, they're going to obviously be keying on Sam Brown and Machida. So the line really needs to step up. And we're going to need some, I think, unsung heroes this game from the Explorers if they want to have a chance to win this.
Tomorrow's a big day as well for LaSalle College High School. The open house taking place at 8605 Cheltenham Avenue, LaSalle College High School. Anyone is welcome to learn more about the paths available to you at LaSalle College High School at the open house. Mass starts at 8:15 a.m. with the open house running from 9 to 12. Pre-register online at lschs.org/admissions. But, of course, walk-ups are also welcome. That's tomorrow morning, Sunday, September 29th. And Chada will kick it deep. Mayo Howell back there along with Liam Kennedy. He'll receive for the Explorers. A booming kick from Chada. That'll back Liam Kennedy halfway deep in the end zone. Touchback in the LaSalle offense, led by Jack Machida. Takes the field. Sam Brown will join him in the backfield. And, guys, it's been those two this year that have been the 1-2 punch that has allowed this offense to succeed and to move to 4-0 thus far in the year.
We talked about it coming into the season. Machida felt a little, slighted and by going out of, early last season with the injury and unable to play a majority of that season. So coming out this year really wanting to put on a show for these Explorers fans and, for maybe potentially anyone watching at the next level, and has really taken that opportunity and run with it this year. And I say run, he's got Sam Brown with him, who's also done the same, just the sophomore.
Sam Brown split out wide. This a crossing pattern for Rob Tatum. Gain of 7 out to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, great. That's a great first play. You got to move this ball down the field. You got to set the pace on offense, and that's the way to do it. Great patience from Machida with the pump fake there.
And nice job by Machida too. Looking, it was clear he didn't like his first read on that. Went to his second read and just taking what this defense has given to him, and that's what he's going to have to do tonight to have some success.
Jalen DeVos right up the middle. A lot of room for him. That's an 11-yard gain out to the 40 and a first down for LaSalle. And, guys, that's that 1-2 punch you need. Rob, you were talking about that last play. Sam Brown took the linebacker on the screen, opened up the cross, and then just jam it down the defense's throat. That's a great play call, 1-2 to start the game. DeVos pulls to the outside. He's got another nice gain across midfield.
Talk about it, Tyler. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, Machida with the block that made that play happen there. That's what you got to see, man. He is a football player. He's an athlete, and he just puts his body on the line to block for DeVos.
Little read option, but, just because he gave the ball to his running back doesn't mean the play's over for the quarterback. Going out there, putting his body on the line for his teammates.
By the way, that's linebacker Liam Johnson with offers from Princeton and a few other Ivy League schools at 210 pounds that the quarterback Machida's taken on. Here's Sam Brown, cuts up the middle, gets 2. Well defended. Liam Johnson came up and made the tackle that time, of course, because Machida wasn't out there blocking.
Yeah, they should do more design Machida blocks.
Not necessarily encouraged.
Yeah, I don't think you want to put your quarterback up to that kind of abuse, especially against a 210-pound linebacker. But, it's encouraging to see, guys being unselfish like that and putting themselves out to make a play.
8:51 to play in the first quarter. St. Joe's Prep a 7-0 lead over LaSalle. And some movement up front came from the left guard position.
And those are the kind of mistakes that LaSalle's going to want to limit tonight.
Nope.
So encroachment first caused Robert Belay, the left guard for LaSalle, to jump.
Me as well, jumping on the call. But, no, for real, though, no matter what side it is, Bob, we were at the Union League earlier this week to attend an event, a little alumni event for both of these teams ahead of this matchup. And both coaches said one of the things they were looking for is to limit those kinds of mistakes tonight.
Second down, 3 to go. They'll get a change from Joe Wade on the sideline. Under 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Jalen DeVos to the right of Jack Machida. Prep brings the pressure, overthrows Brad Vespi. Boy, what great reading that time from Jack Machida. Everything but the execution, but linebacker comes. Vespi fills the spot. Great route. Just a little high.
Machida certainly feeling the pressure there, wanting to get that ball out. I think he felt the pocket collapsing around him. Got it off, probably had maybe a split second more there to set his feet and deliver a more accurate pass there, but man, what an opportunity missed there.
A lot of safety help on the right side here. 2 tight end set for the Explorers. Brown bounces to the outside and can't escape the pressure. Great defensive play there by number 14 for St. Joe's Prep. That's an unbelievable play.
Looks like they're going for it here. 4 down territory, I suppose. Against a team like this, you need to take the points you get.
It's rivalry week.
Aiden Nash there, able to bounce through a block from Jalen DeVos and then make the play against Sam Brown.
He got some great push on DeVos there.
It is 4th down, 4 yards to go. They need the 40 for a first. We'll see whether LaSalle's looking to get them to jump or whether they'll snap this football. Jalen DeVos alongside Machida. And that flag comes from the umpire. That will be a delay of game. And now the punt unit will come onto the field.
Makes you wonder, I mean, they did snap the ball. So,
well, they snapped it, but after that flag went into the air, sure, you go back to when the whistle blew, but think they got that off, Rob?
No, I'm saying, was it them really thinking they were going to go for it?
Prep was coming after that one. This a high, towering punt. Takes back Higgins, and he catches it at the 6-yard line. That's a wonderful punt. Good coverage there by the Explorers.
Yeah, that penalty almost seemed to help him out there. Give him a little bit of leeway back there. That's a great punt.
Extra space.
Give Eric Ford, the gunner, a lot of credit for LaSalle to get down there because Higgins, I think, if nobody was in that area, treading back to the 6 to the 5-yard line, you're going to let that go if you don't have somebody standing right on top of you thinking, hey, this guy's going to keep this from going into the end zone. I better catch it where it is.
Now, big second drive here for this Explorers defense. You mentioned it last drive, Tyler, but this front 7 for LaSalle, they really need to create some havoc in the backfield and, get to the quarterback for St. Joe's.
Colby Burrell again with some room, gets to the second level. Eric Ford wraps him up at the 10, but not before a gain of 4 yards.
So we see with Kyle McCord, obviously a run there. Just a nice job, too. Clear that St. Joe's understands who Ryan Savage is, number 52, double teaming him, allowing Burrell to get to the second level. But a nice job by the secondary coming up. But that pressure is going to be important for LaSalle to make sure that McCord doesn't have time in the pocket to, execute and have all day here.
Burrell breaks another tackle out to the 17-yard line. Some extracurriculars there, but he's going to get enough for the first down. A gain of 6 when he needed every one of them.
Yeah, Kobe Burrell, looks like there's no hole there in the last 2 plays, and he powers through for an extra few yards after each contact. He's doing a great job of getting past that first guy and getting to the second line of defense.
He's heading to the University of Buffalo next year, a team that was just in town and took down the Temple Owls, averaging 4 yards per carry, but he's got a heavy workload. Through just 3 football games, he had 53 carries coming into tonight. And this has been a run-first attack for St. Joe's Prep. Now they'll go to the air. Has Marvin Harrison over the top. Incomplete. Wow. He thought he came down with it. What an unbelievable effort from Marvin Harrison. Boy, I tell you, it looked like he came up with it cleanly, and it also looked like he drugged the toe.
That is insane, and that,
that might be a catch.
That's crazy.
The only thing, that's close.
Now, there was a flag that came in after the conclusion of the play.
They're talking to the LaSalle coaches.
Too many men on the field. So a substitution infraction against St. Joe's Prep, and John Steinmetz deciding whether he wants to back him up, and indeed they will.
I'll tell you what, though, seeing that deep ball like that and seeing Harrison out there getting open, they look like they practiced that quite a bit, and I'm guarantee we're going to see way more of that tonight. Great coverage on the play.
And they may be practicing it for years to come.
4 men up front for LaSalle. Colby Burrell bounces to the outside and has the edge. Out to the 30-yard line and dragged out at about the 33. Chased down by Jalen Hanton, but not before a big gash from Colby Burrell. Here's a look at the last part of it.
And that was a nice job by Burrell, recognizing that the entire line had collapsed in. Probably looked like a designed run to the inside, but recognizing, having the vision to see that the line collapsed and he had the blocking help on the outside, able to bounce that ball to the outside and pick up a nice, huge gain.
And Tyler, from your side of the ball defensively, having played that's your linebacker and your cornerback giving up that edge, collapsing too early and not trusting. Here's a high snap. McCord across the middle, caught there by Harrison. Harrison pulled down at the 31-yard line, but pitch and catch from Ohio State commit to a guy who's strongly considering the Buckeyes and could go just about anywhere.
It was a nice job over the middle by McCord, finding Harrison. And just what pursuit, too, by the Explorers. Ryan Moore able to shoelace tackle, essentially, Marvin Harrison Jr. there. Save a touchdown, for-sure touchdown.
An empty set for the first time for Kyle McCord. 3 wide on the near side. Savage coming at him. He steps up well in the pocket. Looking for help. Fires to the end zone. It's caught. No, it's dropped by Higgins. There's a flag on the field as well in the area of holding. But Higgins cannot believe it.
Oh, man. This probably would have come back anyway, but excellent job by McCord, stepping up, avoiding pressure, and delivering an absolute strike to his receiver, a wide-open receiver in the end zone, and just butterfinger hand. Not enough stick 'em on those gloves.
Yeah, that's, again, I think we're going to see way more of that deep ball. That was a well-designed play. I think the St. Joe's Prep has the athletes, the speed to beat LaSalle secondary. I think we're going to see more of that, and we just need to see what we saw there, get some pressure up front. Great job by the ends there, collapsing the pocket. Unfortunately, quarterback was able to escape, but I think, like I said, we need that front seven to step up here.
That flag was of the 15-yard variety. First down and 25, 5:19 to play first quarter. A 7-0 lead for St. Joe's Prep. Here is the give. Bouncing to the outside. A lot of room inside the 35-yard line. Ripped out at the 32. Joshua Barlow, the sophomore running back.
That was a nice job by Barlow. Again, just another example of the line collapsing. Linebacker, D-back, just not, setting that edge for the defense and allowing Barlow to take that ball to the outside, get back almost to the original line of scrimmage.
Colby Burrell back in at the tailback position, although Barlow certainly showed flashes in his last touch. Maurice Clark, the lone receiver on the near side to us. Burrell has some room. Chris Thompson makes the stop, and it'll be 3rd down and 8 upcoming.
I like the Explorers' decision there to only rush 3 guys. They had some help in the linebacker spot, and were able to fill that gap after Burrell found that first gap. So instead of a gain of 10, they held it to a gain of about 4.
These offensive linemen guys are really impressing me. Not only are they sticking on their blocks, they're pulling, they're getting downfield, they're running some complex sets. And the offensive linemen are doing a great job to allow these running backs to get downhill. A timeout called by LaSalle with 4 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the first quarter. 3rd and 7 upcoming in a spot, guys, here at the 30-yard line where you're thinking 4 down territory unless they pick up 4 or 5 yards. And at that point, even then, 4th and short, you might trust McCord and Burrell in the backfield.
Yeah, and even if they don't, I mean, we saw pregame a kicker, for the St. Joe's Prep team that has a leg. He was putting it in from, 40, 45 yards out, and just a lot of talent all over on that side of the football. But, it's still early. First quarter, just under 4:40 left to go, but Feels like a big third down, big situation, big, if it is two down territory, a huge opportunity here for the Explorers to do something on defense. And Tyler, you talked about it, that front seven, the pressure they need to bring and to make things uncomfortable for McCord is important, because it's clear. We saw it even on that drop pass in the end zone. If you give him time, these receivers are just too athletic, separating themselves from the LaSalle defensive backs and able to find that open space. So it's going to be imperative for them to keep McCord on his toes and uncomfortable in that pocket.
Yeah, I think the ends need to step up. They got too much size up front. You got to beat them with speed on the outside and put pressure on the quarterback.
3rd and 7. McCord in the shotgun. A simple 4-3 defensive look for LaSalle with one safety, and it's a give up the middle for Burrell. 1st down and more. Inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Could drive a tractor trailer through that hole. That was a huge hole they set up for them.
And that an instance certainly where LaSalle's thinking passing situation, and St. Joe's recognizing that, giving up a little draw play, having the blocking set up front. Only, 3 down rushers there. Just able to open, like you said, Tyler could have driven a Mack truck through that hole, picking up a huge 1st down for the Prep.
Well, it's a knowledge of where he's going to go. As he pulls, fires, looking over the top, and that one out of bounds. It looked like Harrison was thinking lob. McCord was thinking back shoulder. 2nd down and 10. But to continue your point there, Rob, it's about knowing where your running back is looking to go as we get one more look, and just a little miscommunication there. But if an offensive lineman is going to shove his guy to the left because he knows Burrell's looking to go off tackle to the right, that's that B gap. The guard heading left, the tackle heading right, and that's what gives you that huge hole. St. Joe's Prep now changes the play at the line. Take a look at Marvin Harrison here, as instead it's Colby Burrell. Burrell gets about 8. Needed 10 for a 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and short at the 11.
It's really a pick your poison kind of situation with
Dylan Trainer down.
Not what you like to see here if you're LaSalle.
Not one bit.
Sorry to cut you off there, Rob.
No.
Been the rock of this team defensively, and really in many ways overall. That vocal as well as unspoken leader when it's needed. Headed to the University of Delaware next year to play with his brother Liam Trainer, who's currently a sophomore. And you hope that Dylan is okay as he's attended to by the trainers. Clock stopped at 3 minutes, 48 seconds to play here in the 1st quarter. This portion of today's game brought to you by our partners at KC's Alley in Ambler. It's a great spot to go with friends, with family, to watch the game, to watch the LaSalle College High School football game, as a matter of fact. And Dylan Trainer running off on his own power. A little ginger with that left arm as he tries to shake that out. Hope that we're able to see him out here soon. But again, KC's Alley in Ambler, right by the Ambler train station. It's our favorite spot to go before or after the football game. In fact, there's going to be a group of us heading over there tonight. So if you'd like to come over, say hello and celebrate all that's great about high school football. That's KC's Alley in Ambler. So 3rd down and 2. Trainer off the field, obviously. St. Joe's Prep looking to pick up the 1st down. Handoff is to Burrell. He cuts to the outside. Touchdown, St. Joe's Prep. Colby Burrell's 2nd of the night.
And again, just the St. Joe's line having the size up front, the running back understanding where the holes are going to be, and just a nice one cut to the outside, shaking off a would-be tackler, just walking it into the end zone.
Yeah, Burrell has some great vision. Pair that with that push that offensive line is getting up front. It pairs for really just a great running attack. I mean, they're gaining 5 to 10 yards on each running play here. It's kind of hard to stop that.
And that's kind of what I was saying at, getting at before the 3rd down play there. But, it's pick your poison with the St. Joe's Prep team. You can prepare all week for the passing attack, these wide receivers and Kyle McCord. giving extra help to your D-backs with, an extra safety on one side or the other. But in that case, that means you're taking someone out of your linebacking core off the line, and, you're opening up opportunities for the running game. And what we've seen Colby Burrell here do early on in this first quarter and putting St. Joe's basically on his legs and putting them up 14-0 to start this one. So it's, focus on trying to limit the passing attack and give up the field position on the ground. It's a tough one, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how you defend it. I mean, obviously, their offense is incredibly dynamic. Passing rush game, I don't know.
Sal's going to have to find an answer.
Antonio Chata will kick it deep. Liam Kennedy, Mayo Howell back there. To answer your question there, guys, first and foremost, it's about trying to get off blocks from the offensive line. It's this rushing attack that's setting up the high-powered passing attack. But, make no mistake, even though St. Joe's Prep thought of extremely highly from the passing attack, Kyle McCord, as good as it gets in the 2021 class nationally, right now Colby Burrell is the biggest thorn in the LaSalle defense's side. Chata launches it deep. Liam Kennedy again back into the end zone. Touchback.
Starts, though, with this offense. See what Jack Machida, Sam Brown, what they're able to do. Coming out here, their second drive of the game. They need an answer. Got to do something. Got to get this ball moving downfield. Need to put points on the board.
And certainly a lot of momentum through that first drive. They were moving it down the field effectively via the air and on the ground. A 4th and 4, they couldn't get the snap off. Delay of game made it 4th and 9. And at that point, on the minus side of midfield, you're punting it every time. Machida drops straight back. Fires over the top for Sam Brown. Incomplete. Great defensive play by the secondary there for St. Joe's Prep, number 19, David Watson. But make no mistake, LaSalle taking the shot.
And that was nice placement by Machida, too. Put it where, really, he gave Sam Brown a chance to come down with it. Just a nice job by Watson to come over and break up the pass. But I like it. I like that, pushing the ball downfield. Show the Prep you're not afraid to take shots.
Sam Brown cuts off tackle. St. Joe's Prep all over that one. No gain for Sam Brown. It'll be 3rd and 10 as we tick under 3 minutes to play in the first.
Explorers cutting right to where the blitz was there. I thought that was a little interesting. That hole is already filled. Yeah, I'm not sure about that play call.
The other thing it does too, you have that incompletion on first down. You have the short run, and now you're off schedule, as they'd say. Setting yourself up here with a 3rd and long.
Tim Melman joins Jack Machida in the backfield. Sam Brown in the slot. Prep shows pressure and brings it. And just some miscommunication that time between Liam Kennedy and Jack Machida. Shame there, too, because with that excess pressure, Tim Melman is going to do a great job of picking up a block from the outside linebacker.
He did. He gave his quarterback time to find his read. There, Machida clearly thinking that, his wide receiver was going to cut, right where the first down marker was. He threw it to that 30-yard line, but
he's throwing a curl route, right? And instead it was a go route. Jake Gandolfo, this one comes off the side of the foot. It does take a good LaSalle hop, and that'll come down at the 41-yard line. That's where Kyle McCord and the offense for the St. Joe's Prep Hawks will come onto the field for the 3rd time, successful with 6 on their first 2 possessions.
The Explorers are going to have to do this drive without Dylan Traynor still on the sidelines being looked at. But big opportunity, next man up. He's still got Ryan Savage on that line. These linebackers, Abdul Carter, see what they can do. I mean, it's a tough spot that they're in right now, but they need to find some momentum, find some success on the defensive side of the ball, and keep this team in this game.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for this defense to show some resilience. They're obviously going up against their best offensive, the best offense they're going to see all year.
4-3 look for LaSalle. Colby Burrell again sneaks through the first lane and heads out to the 45-yard line.
And any other running back we've seen so far, that would have been a tackle for loss. But Burrell got sideways and squeezed himself through the smallest hole.
Actually, I'm going to correct you there, and I was wrong as well. Any other running back, not necessarily the case. Brahim Barr was actually the back on that one. So both Bell and Barr have been good, along with Joshua Barlow, who got one carry for about 14 yards. It is Barr a second time, right up the middle. Breaks a tackle and just inside midfield on the LaSalle side. Brad Vespi made a nice play to prevent more yardage, but a first down.
Nice job by Vespi diving, taking out the ankles there. Otherwise, Barlow might have been still running up the sidelines, but this LaSalle defense needing to do it's just St. Joseph's had great blocking up front, not allowing the LaSalle defensive line or their linebackers really to shed those blocks, to your point earlier, Bob. And this running game, maybe not what we expected to shine tonight for St. Joe's, but it's certainly doing so thus far.
They fake to give to Barlow. McCord takes the shot and takes a big hit in the process. Over the top for Harrison. Touchdown, St. Joe's Prep.
And insult to injury, there's going to be a late flag probably for a hit on McCord, but that was just an excellent job. McCord recognizing that Harrison beat his man to the outside. Oh, correction.
A hold's going to bring it back.
That is not going to stand. One way or the other, unbelievable delivery between McCord and Harrison. Just very, very fortunate for the Explorers that it was done so. Maybe he had the time to do so because of that hold.
Ryan Savage laid a hit at the end there, too. That was so close to just being a strip sack. I thought
Pardon me, I had assumed he was going to get called for that hit, but
we'll give McCord credit for that as well, knowing how much time he had. Sticking in there, delivering the ball deep, knowing he's about to get punished by one of the best defensive ends in the state.
They're marking him back even further. Is there 2 flags on that play? Would they mark them off successfully?
I thought it was after
I don't know, but that looks like first and about 35 yards.
It does. So holding and a personal foul, All right,
this is
could have been a hold and then a personal foul after the play, perhaps. Yeah, Rob, that might be exactly what it is. Here's a screen play. Malik Cooper takes it out of bounds.
All right, this is a good opportunity for this defense to make a stop. The St. Joe's Prep gaining plenty of yards on that play.
Well, here it's a simple defensive breakdown. 2 receivers on that side, and only Eric Ford is out there. A safety help way high, but tremendous play design. And
these Explorers, and they're doing it again. They're staying about 10 yards off of the receivers with the 2 safety looks. So, I mean, they're giving them plenty of room.
And that play in particular, just a breakdown, just a mismatch of guys out there defensively. McCord will fire it again, this time to the sideline. Marvin Harrison there, and Hanton overran it. Good play there by Harrison. And he's down inside the 30-yard line.
And that's, I mean, I know you leave the help over on that side, but a guy of that skill level, I mean, just leaving him one-on-one is a travesty.
You got to break down there. You can't run through that tackle.
No. And in 2 plays, Prep makes up that 1st and 35.
Yeah, I didn't feel too confident on that 1st and 35, to be honest. That was impressive by Prep, just 2 plays getting downfield like that.
Joshua Barlow, the deep back. Pistol formation here for St. Joseph's Prep. Nickel look for LaSalle. McCord steps up, and he'll take off with it. Gets about 5 yards. St. Joe's Prep wants a flag.
They are screaming for it on their sidelines, but that was a good job by the defensive end. That tackle started in bounds. The Prep fans letting the refs hear it over there, but just a nice job in pursuit there. It's that number 45 for
Timothy
the
Barrett.
Explorers. Timothy Barrett able to drag down McCord from behind. Again, this Explorers defense needs to get something positive here.
2nd down and 4, 21 seconds left in the first quarter. And here's a jet sweep. Malik Cooper blocking ahead of him, bounces to the outside. And Eric Ford did a great job getting off the tackle there, or the block from Barlow, and able to maneuver him out of bounds. It will be just short of a first down.
Great job by Savage there, also preventing the Barlow from cutting upfield there. Made him bounce outside and prevented the first down.
3rd down and 1. 4 men in the backfield, including Jeremiah Trotter Jr., who plays in the linebacking core. He heads upfield to block. Burrell bounces to the outside and spins for a first down.
Interesting goal line look there with 2 guys to either side of the quarterback and Burrell in the backfield taking the ball. Obviously, you bring a defender in there. You're looking at a heavy set, clearly a run situation, and able to pick up the first down.
By the way, goal line set, and that is becoming a goal line set these days at the high school and college level with all the spread offenses that we have. But the old-timers would say, what do you mean goal line set? The running back's 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. But the pistol does allow him to get that downhill look. That is the end of the first quarter. St. Joe's Prep with a 14-0 lead over LaSalle. Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern is here. Your broadcast team, along with Alex Krastowski on camera. And this time out brought to you by Carrie Guerin Boyle and Jim McLaughlin of the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Jim is a LaSalle alumni. His father and 3 sons attended LaSalle as well. Carrie's family's been associated with LaSalle for generations, and she currently has a sophomore son in the class of 2022. Jim and Carrie have trusted their family to LaSalle, and you can trust that you will be treated like family when buying or selling your home with this real estate team. Call Jim at 267-242-5991 or Carrie at 267-626-6818 for any real estate questions. Licensed in PA and New Jersey.
And whenever
what is Alex doing?
I was going to say, whenever you get LaSalle and Prep together, this is certainly a family-friendly atmosphere. Little sandbox, a long jump box down there. What is that?
I don't know, but Alex Krastowski gets everything.
He will find it. Where's Waldo, Alex? Can you find him? Can you find him for us? He's probably here.
This is his way of trying to distract me when I'm doing a read. Very well done. So a first down and 10 from the 15. McCord throws for the sideline.
Oh,
incomplete. Marvin Harrison in the area.
Placed a little far out of bounds. If he comes down with it, his feet looked like they were dragging for sure. Exceptional placement of the football.
I'm blown away by Harrison's speed there. He didn't even seem to be anywhere close to the ball, and he had just an explosive sprint towards it. That was a great effort by him.
Just great understanding of the play call, where you need to be between those 2 guys. Clearly some chemistry.
This looks like a screenplay coming up. Marvin Harrison dives for the end zone. He's in there. Touchdown, Marvin Harrison, his first of the night, and the 3rd total for the St. Joe's Prep team.
Looking easy. Bob, you called it as it was unfolding. The LaSalle Explorers, unfortunately, don't have that, didn't have that foresight. Just a nice job by McCord finding Harrison in space. The blocking was set up for him and just able to, again, walk it into the end zone.
Explorers need to get something together on offense. They got to keep their defense off the field. They're going to be gassed by the 3rd quarter if it keeps up this way. They just need to.
Well, listen, that play in an anecdotal way really sums up this, and that is going to be called dead. Either a false start or an encroachment that caused it, and it's going to be a encroachment against LaSalle. Interesting here, does St. Joe's Prep line up the offense and try to pound it in from 1 yard away? But the blocking at the tail end of that play tells you all you need to know. The athleticism and just the size and ability of these guys. Casey Stevenson, number 74, was blocking so far downfield on that screenplay, legally, of course, given the screen, that Harrison bumped into him on his way to the end zone. That was the only guy that touched him on the way to pay dirt.
His own teammate.
I am just very impressed by the front 5 for.
We knew what we were getting into.
Extra point is up and good from Chada. And with 11:45 to play in the 2nd quarter, It's St. Joe's Prep 21, LaSalle nothing. The offense coming back onto the field for this Explorer team, looking to get back on track. Finding their pathway, if you will, and finding new paths is the mantra for LaSalle College High School going forward here. And we want to tell you about the open house happening tomorrow at LaSalle College High School. Anyone is welcome to learn more about the paths available to you at LaSalle High School at the open house on Sunday, September 29th. Mass starts at 8:15 a.m. with open house running from 9 to 12. Pre-register online at lschs.org/admissions, but walk-ups are always welcome. Chata will kick it deep. Liam Kennedy, Mayo Howell back deep to receive. A capacity crowd here for, well, both sides. But LaSalle has packed their side in a big way. A little quieter than they wanted to be at this point in the game. So it's still certainly a lot of time as we're just 15 seconds into this second quarter. They're going to lean on Jack Machida. Sam Brown really hasn't gotten going yet. A big third drive coming up here for the Explorers offense.
I was going to say, just their third drive. So, you know, the sustained one and then the 3 and out, and now take 3.
Kennedy again backed up into the end zone from Chada's kick. Ball placed at the 20 for the Explorers.
And you got to think that the St. Joe's Prep did their homework. They know what they got in Machida. They know he's got legs. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a quarterback spy on him, or, I mean, you're keying off Sam Brown anytime that man's on the field. They're two of the Explorers' biggest weapons on offense. So I'd expect we need guys like Devontae Carter to step up and make some good plays.
And I want to see this offensive line step up against this St. Joe's Prep D-line. They go with just 3 down linemen in a 3-4 look. And it's Brad Vespi scooting up the middle for a couple yards. And they'll push him forward to the 23.
Good overall push from the Explorers' offensive line there. I mean, Vespi basically ran into a stone wall and managed to get a couple extra yards because of that push. I'd like to see that Explorers' offensive line get some leverage. I mean, that D-line's got some big push up front. You just got to get below them as much as you can and beat them technically if you can't beat them physically.
Again, it is Brad Vespi, the deep man in the pistol look. And now they'll change out of that. And offside coming up against St. Joe's Prep, so good deception that time from the LaSalle offense as they changed the play at the line. That was designed.
Anything for positive yards. And
yeah, St. Joe's Prep saying that there was a false start there, actually. But, I mean, I guess any defense will make that point.
You point. You're going to point.
Yeah.
No, it was them. It was them.
Interesting so far. It seems like they're utilizing Sam Brown more as a receiver. He's split out wide every time. I mean, there was a few instances where he's in the backfield, but maybe they think he has more of an impact using his size and speed.
And we've seen that back and forth in past games, Tyler, but you're right, not to this extent. Toss sweep for Brad Vespi. Vespi out to the 30-yard line. He's right near the line to gain. Pretty good blocking here. A kick-out block from LaSalle allows Vespi to get to the outside.
Really trying to use, I think, the speed of St. Joe's against themselves.
And Ryan Wills, the left tackle, tremendous.
Trying to get guys in motion, get the ball moving in different directions. And Vespi is a smaller, faster running back, able to find the hole, just dive forward and get that line to gain.
Great block by Timothy Melman on that one, too. He got blown off the ball, but he helped make that play.
They'll try the shot for Sam Brown. That one led him a little bit out of bounds.
Nice attempt by Machida, putting the ball, only where his receiver, Sam Brown, would have been able to come down with that one. Just a little bit too far out in front of him. See a nice attempt here by Sam Brown, but just over the outstretched fingers, tips, unable to haul it in.
I think they'll continue this attack, though, with Sam Brown. He looks like he's about 3 or 4 inches on Xavier Atkins.
Second down and 10, 9:52 to play, second quarter. It's Vespi up the middle. and he's able to dive forward for a gain of 3. And that's what you like to see out of him, even where you're not able to get those big gashes, just 3 yards, a cloud of dust, and falling forward.
Make it a little more manageable here on 3rd down, and see, just bringing that pile, just moving everyone forward, dragging them, and setting up a, still 3rd and relatively long, but a more manageable 3rd and long.
Press coverage here from St. Joe's Prep. It's going to be single coverage, it looks like, as they look for the blitz. They're showing it on the outside here.
I'm looking at Sam Brown here.
Yep, Blake Romano's on him now, but he's showing blitz, and he comes. Sam Brown has a very close to a first down. Boy, I tell you
on
what.
The spot. It looks like
could have been a flag here, Rob, I think, on Rob Tatum, because this pass is going to come in front of the line of scrimmage, and it looked like a blocking attempt, but wasn't called, and a first down for LaSalle.
Got right to that line to gain, did Sam Brown, and it's a nice job. Look at this Explorers offense now, putting together, only, like we said, their 3rd drive, but a couple successive first downs.
Just one safety out there as Melman breaks a tackle, heads out past the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 7.
And compared to these other running backs, Tim Melman looks like something of an old-school fullback out there, but a guy we've seen get the ball throughout the year, and look at him just shaking off tacklers and diving forward for a nice pickup of 7 on first down.
I think that's what you need right now. You got big boys up front. You need some push. You need some power, and maybe some power running is what the Explorers offense needs.
No safety help over the top as they throw the screen for Sam Brown. Brown makes one miss, stays on his feet inside the 45-yard line. A first down for LaSalle, and guys, it's all about making one guy miss on the outside. Brown does that and then takes off.
You'll see that cut right here, just shedding that St. Joe's Prep defensive back. And able to get that ball to the outside, pick up the first down, and plenty more for these Explorers getting into St. Joe's territory.
Great job by Machida just overall on this drive so far, dissecting this defense. He's recognizing the coverage and picking off weaknesses of the St. Joe's defense.
Now Brown does come back into the backfield alongside Jack Machida. It'll be Brown up the middle. Brown falls forward for a gain of 5 yards.
Uh-oh.
Ball came loose. Referee on the far side saying that he was down.
Immediately pointing the finger to the ground. You could see him.
2nd down and 5.
Motioning that ball was down, that Sam Brown was down before the ball comes out. We don't really get a nice job by Alex, tightening up on that, but we don't see the ball coming out. But a nice pickup on first down.
Don't say one bad word about Alex. He's doing a tremendous job.
That was. Only nice words.
I like the Explorers' use of their personnel tonight so far. We got way different running backs, different receivers out there, keeping St. Joe's Prep on their toes.
Here's a screen for Sam Brown, and what a tackle on the outside there.
Unfortunate.
David Watson, what a play.
Just unable to shake that one tackler. Like we had said, there was no help over the top. Machida delivering this ball to his back, and it's a big old number 71 for LaSalle, offensive lineman.
Yeah, Robert
Bale, unable to get over there for the block, but
you're right, just a fraction late there. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. Ticking under 7 minutes to play in this second quarter. 4 down territory, you would think, almost without a doubt here for LaSalle. Liam Johnson, and now they're going to get a free play. I thought they were going to get a free play. There was no contact there. I mean, LaSalle certainly the beneficiary of it. But let's get one more look. It's going to be a jump from the interior defensive lineman here.
That's the situation.
Boy, you let that play out.
Reminds me, I don't know if I forget if it
call
was
that a false start.
Oh, whoa. Wow.
Oh, legal motion.
Illegal motion.
Interesting.
Didn't see the illegal motion. So, okay, you have to blow that one dead, but now it's now it's a discussion about the call itself.
All right.
That looked clear as day to be offside, which again it was, but the illegal motion came first apparently. 3rd down and 11, 6:23 to play. They pick up the pressure well, firing for Rob Tatum. And incomplete, nearly intercepted by St. Joe's Prep. In coverage number 3, Julian Talley.
Talley just had great position on that ball. Machida taking a shot. And you see it here. Talley really, that was, you saw Rob Tatum turn into a defensive back there, having to break that pass up. And
Xavier Atkins was in there as well. Yep. Well covered by St. Joe's Prep. Either of those guys could have come up with that interception. 4th down and 11, they'll send the punt unit out. I didn't caveat my statement. I think this is the right decision, but I think 4th and 6 they would have gone for it. This a high hanging punt. Takes a LaSalle hop and will get better inside the 5. And we'll roll down to the 4. Waving it home is Jalen DeVos.
Trying to throw some air behind that ball.
Halfway home here on the second quarter, I should say, of LaSalle College High School football against St. Joseph's Prep, live on Bob Long Sports. Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern, and Alex Christowski is here on camera. This portion of today's game brought to you by our folks at Casey's Alley in Ambler. Great spot to go before, during, or after the game. We're going to be heading over after. Come say hello. That's Casey's Alley by the train station in Ambler. Great food specials, drink specials every night of the week, and a great place to take friends and family. Watch the big game. Run up the middle. LaSalle gets a hold of him, but not before a gain of 5 yards.
No turnovers to this point in this game. Obviously we nearly saw one, but I'm saying that in the hopes of putting a hex on the field on the football. See one get punched out here maybe by the Explorers. They need some sort of momentum on defense. Obviously you pin St. Joe's back here, hoping to get something good happening in the shadow of their own end zone.
Here's the give up the middle. Colby Burrell out to the 20. That's a gain of 10 yards and a first down, running right off that left tackle, Tyler.
Yeah, Burrell's just got great vision, and he's got the line to do it. I mean, I feel like a broken record here, but, I mean, they can't stop him.
Just a nice job by Savage. If he doesn't grab a hold of Burrell, maybe he's still running.
I'm trying to think of a tackle for loss, and I can't this game yet. They're getting major yardage on every run.
Faking the give, thrown across the middle, pitch and catch for Stevenson, and it's a foot race. Stevenson brought down inside the 30-yard line. Prep is rolling offensively.
TJ Meacham, Stevenson just finding the seam up the middle, no coverage, no linebacker help. 2 safeties having to basically pursue, and it's TJ Meacham that just catches up and able to bring him down right inside the 30.
4:44, clock ticking here in the second quarter. They're setting up a screen. Nobody there. Great defense that time. Paul Jennings in there and forced Kyle McCord to make a decision.
Yeah, great pursuit by Jennings there. Really forced that play dead. As you can see in our instant replay.
the tail end of it that time.
Just avoiding the pressure there.
If you didn't catch it, you weren't paying attention.
Want to see me run to that rock and back? Want to see me do it again? Anybody? 2nd down and 10. Somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. Pressure again from LaSalle. Cooper makes the play. Stopped right there by Meacham, a yard short of a first down.
Meacham, just a nice job there. A great route run. And McCord just delivering the ball to his receiver.
Double slants takes the linebacker out of the equation right in the middle of your screen, and pitch and catch. And a sneak right there is going to get him enough for a first down, so they hurry up the offense. McCord dives forward for the first down. And 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Clock is ticking here in the second quarter. St. Joe's Prep, not that there were a ton of questions, but they did come in here 1-2. And they were playing a national schedule, and the question was, that national schedule, how more difficult was that than what they were going to see throughout the rest of Pennsylvania, PIAA, Philadelphia Catholic League play? And to this point, they've answered all the questions. McCord firing for the end zone, 1-on-1, and that's well overthrown.
really had nowhere to go. That's, maybe the first time tonight we could say it was great coverage across the board by the Explorers defensive backs. McCord did have all day. The St. Joe's line was holding their blocks and, giving their quarterback time, just nothing there, and McCord having to deliver a ball in the direction it looked like a Marvin Harrison, but just out of bounds, essentially a throwaway there.
3 minutes, 36 seconds left in the second quarter. St. Joe's Prep a 21-0 lead on their fourth offensive possession of the half, looking to punch it in for their fourth touchdown. Marvin Harrison makes one miss and then another inside the 10-yard line, took what looked like could have been a stop at the line of scrimmage and gets about 8 yards out of it.
That was another one. You mentioned the play earlier, Bob. It looked like some early blocking maybe downfield for the Explorers. I thought, Anthony Rightly is out there, with Marvin Harrison, was setting up that block a little early. Refs didn't seem to agree.
The screen, throwing it behind the line of scrimmage gives you a lot more leeway with stuff like that, though. Colby Burrell, they fake the give to him. Fire to the end zone. Touchdown, St. Joe's Prep. Anthony Rightly, the wide receiver, as LaSalle's defense collapses on the fake to Burrell. Kyle McCord fires right over the top.
Over the hands that Meacham in the middle there.
But again, Ryan Moore, number 28, just a couple steps forward when Burrell fakes the give, or the give is faked to him, and that's all you need at that point with a guy like Kyle McCord.
And you really can't blame him for how Burrell's been running tonight.
No, you can't.
Try to cut a corner there and pay for it.
Chada. The extra point is good. 28-0 St. Joseph's Prep. And a game that is becoming more and more reminiscent of the game that you guys broadcast last year, where St. Joseph's Prep moved up to a first half lead and really ran and hid.
Yeah, we ran and hid for the first quarter of that one, if I remember right.
Yeah,
maybe some audio issues that we had to work through, but we tried.
Certainly
Without you, Bob.
Yeah, I tried to help you technically from the other side of the pond. And when I say pond, I mean the Atlantic Ocean, as it were.
We did our thing. We got it going eventually,
Yes.
Down there at Widener University.
To be fair, your technology was a lot more rudimentary last year, too.
It was.
So there was some issues, I think. I don't think you can blame us for that one.
Things had to be upgraded.
Does that mean that you're complimenting us on the technology that we now have, or you're making fun of us for the technology we had
Or
last
is he
year?
making fun of ourselves because even we couldn't figure out the rudimentary tech.
Oh, understood.
So
the triple whammy.
Is that a technical term?
Yes. Ask any IT person.
Antonio Chada will kick it deep. 4 kicks, 4 touchbacks. Liam Kennedy catches that one. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
And an opportunity for the Explorers. They've seen some good things on offense, and as the clock winds down here on the first half, 2:49 to go, you can run that 2-minute offense. They get the ball out of the half. This one's not over yet, folks. If LaSalle can do something here, put some points on the board, go into the half,
get the ball.
Get the ball. I was going to say even before they get the ball, get that, whatever reaming they're going to get from the coaches at halftime, get that spark put under them, come out of the second half and get the ball right back and go down the field and do it again. Need mistake-free football here to end the half.
Stoppage. A whistle comes from the head official.
Calling my time. At this point, I think they're to the middle of the field?
Yes, they will.
Where the ball was kicked.
A nice venue here at Wissahickon High School,
Yeah,
I tell you guys.
really
You
is.
get a lot of people into this joint, and they did. A packed house for this heavyweight tilt. Machida fires over the middle. Liam Kennedy in and out of the hands. A fastball comes that time from Machida.
Kennedy almost looked like he was, avoiding that pass coming in a little more hot than maybe he was anticipating, but, he had his hands on the ball. Maybe a little high, but he needs to come down with.
2nd down and 10. Machida will take it up the middle, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Now St. Joe's Prep has to think about whether they want to take one of their timeouts. And they will.
Ask and you shall receive.
2 minutes, 28 seconds left here in the second quarter.
They want that running clock. Right?
At 35, It would become a running clock. Yes. But just talking specifically, you give yourself time to score again before the end of the second quarter. That's the prudent decision, you would think. So, Rob, I know you wanted to say a little something about an organization you're involved with here through LaSalle.
Well, the LaSalle College High School Alumni Association will be hosting a networking event at McGurk's Pub and Grill in Fort Washington next week. You talk about the open house this Sunday, and then you got just a couple of days later, Wednesday, October 2nd, at McGurk's in Fort Washington. We'll have the Alumni Association and the LaSalle Business Network coming together and hosting a networking event there from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at McGurk's Pub and Grill in Fort Washington. That's 582 South Bethlehem Pike in Fort Washington. A great event that I know we've run into each other at
many times. Patrick Slattery, Doug Kelly, a few other guys, Brian McGeehan. Bill Murphy does a great job as Machida's taken down inbounds by Jeremiah Trotter. Strung him out and ran him down. And another timeout taken here by St. Joseph's Prep.
Nice job in pursuit. A guy that, a name rather, that, should sound awfully familiar to folks in this area. His father, a linebacker wearing that same number in the green of the Eagles for many a year. Now seeing his son doing the same thing here for St. Joe's Prep, playing that linebacking position, and just a nice job in pursuit. That's something. Sorry, Bob. I was gonna say that's something we haven't touched on yet. Obviously we've been calling the names out, but the football legacy on the St. Joe's Prep side, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. His dad, a local product, went to Roman, and then off to Syracuse before a storied and pretty well-known career for the Indianapolis Colts, Hall of Fame career. And then on the other side of the ball, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. A lot of juniors on this team. Some kids with some football family history.
Jeremiah Trotter Sr. has said that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is already better than he was, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is already about 4 inches taller than his dad was. The offspring have done quite well for themselves as they move up through the ranks from high school and soon to be college, as they're both juniors at this point. Good punt there from Jake Gandolfo. Inside the 35-yard line to the 32, and that's where Kyle McCord and the offense will take over once again. One thing to note, guys, at halftime, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to have some fun. The Rugby Sevens team from LaSalle College High School is playing in a showcase event at halftime, and we're going to break that down. We're going to send Tyler Kern, who is a college rugby player after his high school football career, uniquely qualified to bridge the gap here. So we're excited to bring that to you at halftime.
Just excited to be here, Bob. That's why I came. I don't care for football,
Oh, there you go. First down and 10. McCord nearly runs out of time, and now taken down by none other than Dylan Traynor. Good to see him back into the game, and the first sack of the game.
A little extra tape on that left arm. Dylan Traynor not going to let that stop him. Jalen DeVos was in there on the pressure for early, forcing McCord to step up into the arms of Dylan Traynor. And nice job by Traynor to wrap McCord up and bring him down for the first sack of the game on either side. Unless,
I think that last
Machida, one. Did he get back to the line, or did they give him that loss?
Maybe a loss of 1.
All right. Well, first sack then for the Explorers.
First negative yardage for Prep, not from a penalty.
Yeah.
Second down and 13. McCord steps up. Pretty good coverage deep by LaSalle. McCord fires to the sideline. Cooper couldn't bring it in.
And some life from this defense. It's good to see this pressure, and, I mean, it's just clicking suddenly.
They do not want the running clock, and I like the, DeVos, maybe he didn't get in on that play, but just, almost trying to juke his man using that offensive mindset perhaps. And as he's coming in on the offensive tackle, they're trying to get him on his heels.
Make no mistake, guys, as well. This defensive line doing better, but that's a coverage play right there.
Yeah.
The coverage was good. McCord went through 3 progressions and didn't find anybody anywhere.
This was all around this Explorers defense, at least on this drive, stepping up.
And now a penalty comes from the umpire. Delay of game against St. Joseph's Prep. 3rd down and 18 upcoming with 1:11 to play, and now LaSalle with a stop. If the clock is running after the stop, think about using a timeout themselves.
That's one. Well, talk about it after this play. Seems like they're going to get it off quick, but it's going to just quickly say, with delay of games in high school football, it'd be interesting to see, or at least nice to see, some clocks.
Delay give, Colby Burrell. Burrell has some room, bounces to the outside. He has the first down. Coming across the 43 to the 44. Wow. He needed 18 and got 19.
Unbelievable play by Burrell and really the offensive line, but then just Burrell in pursuit, or, out on the run, able to avoid, and Vespi, making that shoelace tackle, but just 1 or 2 yards too late.
1:03 to play. Fresh set of downs for St. Joseph's Prep, still on their side of midfield. And just a little bit of movement that time from the offensive lineman for the Prep.
No question on that one.
Brad Harris, the sophomore offensive lineman, playing at the right tackle spot.
Standing up and getting ready for that pressure off of the left edge of LaSalle's line. Paul Jennings might be getting in his head.
Jennings, good pressure that time. Couldn't quite get there. Now McCord steps up, and he's taken down from behind. Who else but Ryan Savage in pursuit?
Nice job by Savage. Not a sack. It was a 1-yard gain by McCord, but just an excellent job. Able to shed his blocker.
What a spin there, too.
Come up from behind McCord and just make that shoelace tackle.
Yeah, those are...
Interestingly, looking at that replay, sorry, Tyler, it looked like McCord still had his eyes downfield, like he was, looking for a receiver. He was a yard past the line of scrimmage. So that if he throws that ball, obviously a penalty for an illegal forward pass.
Was he? Because it's a 3-yard loss.
The penalty, false start, backed him up 5. That was a 2-yard gain there.
Why, thank you.
Welcome. Keeping my eyes on. We have no yellow line up here in the booth.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the upgrade we get next year, Bob, is we add the lines to gain and the line of scrimmage.
I had a few questions about that.
Maybe we have it and we've just chosen not to share it with people. You may never know.
Keeping Tyler on his toes.
Nah, we'll work on that. 53.6 seconds to play. St. Joe's Prep called the timeout here. Still looking to add one more score before the end of the half. Reminder, you can follow us here, Bob Long Sports, as we broadcast LaSalle College High School football as well as the Nittany Lions Sports Report every Tuesday night. And you can follow us on Twitter at Bob Long Sports, on Facebook at Bob Long Sports, and, of course, our YouTube channel as well. Please like and subscribe. Throwing across the middle, Malik Cooper. Cooper pushed out of bounds by Abdul Carter after a huge gain.
Where's my I'm just at a loss of words.
I mean, that's Cooper doing a great job to get by Abdul Carter in the crossing route.
And McCord waiting for Cooper to get into the window where he could throw it to him. Had to cut across a couple different windows of that zone defense there, but just able to take the ball in motion. McCord hit him in stride, and Cooper just turns it upfield, and all of a sudden Prep once again knocking on the door.
They have not been stopped offensively yet. This their 5th offensive possession of the first half. McCord stares to the left, now takes off with it. Abdul Carter wraps him up.
Wow.
Makes him think about escaping the pocket next time.
That was a good tackle.
Nice open field tackle by Abdul Carter.
That was like a rugby tackle.
St. Joe's Prep quickly up to the line to spike the football.
Was the clock running there? I didn't see it running.
It's at 25.5 seconds right now. Didn't have eyes on the clock when they were getting up to the line. St. Joe's Prep, a little bit of confusion. And now they're going to pull Maurice Clark, the sophomore wide receiver, off the field. Put Colby Burrell in his place and split Samir Hagens out wide.
Ooh, hello. Careful.
Jalen DeVos came
through.
They're
talking. They're hugging. They're slapping it out. That was unintentional.
That's
cool.
DeVos.
That was nearly ugly. I mean, DeVos got shoved down at McCord's feet. That could have been, a lot worse.
He took off thinking, or not hearing, or not adhering to the whistle, one or the other, and then lost the footing, as you said. And at that point, you saw he was just trying to keep McCord on his feet. So 24.3 seconds left in this half. St. Joe's Prep looking to add more before the end of the first half. But guys, the St. Joe's Prep team, they've answered the bell here. And not that there were a ton of questions about the quality of this football team, but a team that lost 2 very close games against national powers and won a close game against another national power. They've come in here against LaSalle, appropriately ranked in the top 3 of the state coming in. They were as impressive as anybody, and it has been all prep here tonight. St. Joseph's has been a tremendous football team for 23 and a half minutes of football.
Yeah, they've lived up to the hype so far.
I mean, they're showing the level of talent that we expected. I mean, you talk about the names on offense, the places they're going, the commits they have, future commits, the Ohio State commit quarterback. It's clearly showing tonight on this football field.
McCord with the lob. Hagens, touchdown, St. Joseph's Prep.
Eric Ford just having the wrong read on that. Thought the ball was coming up shorter and just kind of eased up at the end.
And it seemed like, I watched the last maybe 5-7 steps of that route. Just had his eyes in the backfield the whole time, not recognizing where his wide receiver was that he needs to be covering and just letting that ball get over his head. Nice job by McCord, maybe as well recognizing that, Ford had his eyes squarely on him and just hitting his open receiver.
Antonio Chata. And it looks like a rugby ball came into the end zone.
Uh-oh. Sabotage.
18 and a half seconds, boys. You still got some time. I know you're antsy to get out there, but
it's a good one, Rob.
Chata's kick is up and good. And with 19 seconds left at St. Joe's Prep 35, LaSalle nothing.
The back of that, behind the end zone here, not the rugby team, but the guys standing there to catch that extra point. It reminds me a lot of like the home run derby. You get the kids out in the outfield that want to catch the fly balls.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny watching them all run after it.
And then the home run derby recently has gotten to the point where they don't really care if the ball has landed yet before they pitch the baseball, because it's more about entertainment than really the ethos or integrity of the event. So what you have is a ball flying out of the stadium and the kid's looking up, and then maybe the guy doesn't get a hold of one and rips the line drive. I mean, you got to be careful. Those kids at the home run derby, you see these kids trying to catch these balls that are coming 100+ miles an hour off the bat. Thankfully, nothing major that I've heard yet has come of that from an injury perspective.
Man.
Builds character.
I've got nothing. I was trying to think of something to come back with that with, but I've got nothing.
The kick is deep and again into the end zone. And for what it's worth, with a 35-point lead, the clock will run from here in. So incomplete passes and things of that nature will not result in a clock stoppage as they otherwise would in a game of football. And that's a high school specific rule that we'll see in the last 18 seconds here of the first half and throughout the second. Once the running clock does commence, it does not stop until the game is over, even if LaSalle were to get back within that 35-point threshold.
Is that on the snap, Bob?
On the snap. Yeah, you won't have it like in between touchdowns and extra points and things of that nature. But Sam Brown, counting on him to make a move, and he does get forward, and the clock will continue to run. Under 10 seconds left. Clock down to 5, and that will be the last snap of the first half. And it's been 24 minutes of football dominated by St. Joseph's Prep. 35-0, and the Hawks making a statement in their first in-state game of the year.
They sure have. I mean, we talked about it at the top, and just a few moments ago with that touchdown pass. But Kyle McCord, the guy, class of 2021, but already, verbally committed to Ohio State and showing, what he's able to do as the quarterback, the leader of this offense. But it hasn't just been him. It's been the offensive line and the legs of Colby Burrell early on in this first half. It's been overwhelming for the Explorers and just unable to stop St. Joe's at any point, during that first half. And unfortunately, it's been, exactly the opposite on the other side of the ball, with the Explorers really not able to find their groove on offense. And had some successes here and there, Tyler, but, for all intents and purposes, a whole lot of nothing that first half.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to contribute. Obviously, LaSalle is just kind of outmatched technique-wise, coaching-wise, and I think physicality. It's hard to beat that. I'd like to see them score some points, show some promise on offense.
So as promised, we are hanging here for a portion of the halftime as it's Rugby Sevens, the showcase here between LaSalle College High School and St. Joseph's Prep. And for more, Tyler Kern, our expert on rugby, and what a hit that is. Tyler, what do you think about that?
So, as it goes in the name, sevens, 7 players each side.
Whoa.
Typically 7-minute halves, but I've been told that they're just going to play until the halftime's over.
This is
incredibly
brutal.
High speed. It's just full-out sprint for 7 minutes, as you can see.
No pads, no helmets.
Yeah, I think they're breaking some rules out there right now, actually. But it's supposed to be a little more developed than this. But the ball must go backwards. You must lateral it if you're – I've never seen rugby played like this. That you're supposed to ruck.
Where's the scrums?
That's only on penalties.
Okay.
In sevens, scrums are only made up of 3 players each, 2 props and a hooker. Maybe we'll see one tonight if we're so lucky. The way they're – wow.
Whew.
I think that guy's shirt got ripped off.
Oh, man.
So you can kick it whenever you want. It can give you a good field position. As you can see, you got your teammates rucking over you, picking up the ball. You want to swing it to the outside. I don't think you can throat slam anybody.
My word. This is
I did not expect this. This is something.
This is like a street fight. Like, what are we watching?
Hey,
this is unbelievable. No, and I don't mean that in a bad way. There is a referee.
Yeah.
There is a referee.
You mean it's like a street fight in a good way? Is that what you're getting?
Kind of. I mean, this is unreal.
Hard
hit after hard hit.
I'll say this from an uninformed perspective. I've had a lot of fun watching the Rugby World Cup, and this is really, I think, unbelievable and a level of physical abuse that I probably wouldn't put myself through, but I give these guys a ton of credit.
So there was a forward pass there.
Yep.
So it's Prep's ball, penalty. I believe that the Explorers have to back 10 meters off the ball. Oh, nope. I am wrong.
What's that mean on a football field, huh?
Yes. Nope, I am wrong. They're forming a scrum. So you have 2 props and a hooker on each team. And you, the fly half, basically.
Here we go.
feeds the ball in through the side, and it's the hooker's job to hook the ball with their feet and push it back to their team.
Well done by St. Joseph's Prep there. Now, do the sidelines matter? Because that might be a late hit in football, Tyler.
I believe the lines are actually the yellow.
Ooh! What a move! They're calling it back. Hold on. We have some capabilities here. We do.
We've got replay.
Let's try this again. See what the issue is. Started at
Not
the 2.
a forward pass.
Caught in the end zone.
Fake. What's the
See
the
you
call?
later.
I'm not sure.
What's the call?
Tyler, this is what we bring you here
As the
for.
rugby expert, I do not have an answer.
You know what it is? They may not have called it back into action yet from the non-rugby expert. Oh, boy.
Oh. Now, is there like safeties in football similar to football where?
Oh! There it is again.
Oh,
boy. Trouble there. Trouble with the curve.
So right now you want to swing it back out to your left side here, except they're pushing it out the middle. Ball's out.
Ooh.
I mean, there have to be injuries galore in a sport like rugby.
I've never seen it played this aggressively, to be honest. Maybe it's just a high school level.
It's like a DDT.
They're throwing caution to the wind here.
He got the ball.
So now when you're on the ground, is it? Oh! Hold on. Replay.
Please,
we need to see that again. Just kicked right to the chest. Where is this?
I don't know.
It's got to be coming up. It's got right here.
Oh,
this
the
kid
Explorers had the numbers
right. Oh!
I think he got his own guy. Wow.
Oh, man.
This is
unbelievable.
fantastic.
It's a big change of pace from the football game,
So
obviously.
I think that interrupted. Oh!
Breakaway. He go.
Try time.
That.
Oh, you got to get the little kids off.
25, 20, 15,
The
10,
band
5,
is on the field.
Touchdown. What's it called?
Try.
Try.
I see those little kids back there. They were all on the end zone. A la the
There's a
Stanford
girl
band.
doing cartwheels in the try zone now.
Was it the cow band? Who knows?
Wow.
So now what, Tyler?
All right, so now the Explorers, I believe
we'll get a drink.
Get a drink. A quick breather after that 6 minutes of brutality that we just witnessed. I think there was quite a few rules broken there, but I only see. I think they're playing kind of fast and loose with the rules here tonight. It's more of to get people excited about the sport.
Well, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can go back and listen to our commentary in the last 6 minutes, and we're just having a good time.
Commentary? It's just shouting.
I planned on having like a calm explanation of how the game was played and what certain terms are called. But
sorely mistaken.
So what about that, Tyler?
So that gets kicked out of bounds, and now they're going to
Why did they kick it at that angle?
I mean,
where would you otherwise kick it?
I mean, typically you can't. You're not allowed to kick it out of bounds. So now the St. Joe's Prep gets to kick it, but typically you want to just kick it to the nearest man. It's kind of like a chance at an onside kick every time here.
So he kicked it to himself. Yeah, that's what he just did.
Ooh.
My goodness.
Man. So, just technically speaking, field size-wise, is it the size of a football field?
No, it's the size of a soccer field, actually.
Ball's on the ground.
So we're actually playing
the yellow
by
lines.
I was going to say we're playing by these yellow lines here.
Yeah. The yellow lines.
I believe.
The soccer field?
I believe. I would think so, but then you see all the coaches and the team standing on the field then based off that theory.
Oh, that's a great interception there.
That is technically a knock by.
He gone.
He gone again. 25-20.
That was
15,
technically
10,
an illegal play by the Explorers.
Try. He dives. Why did he dive?
You got to touch the ball to the ground in order to score.
That?
I don't know if he actually touched the ball in the try zone there, but that was basically what you call a knock on. The Explorers actually caught the ball and hit it forward, and it should have been a penalty on the Explorers. It wasn't called because I don't even know where the ref's at. I think he's taking a breather.
Maybe we should have you down there refereeing this game. This game would be far less entertaining if you were refereeing it. I'll just throw that one out there for everybody to chew on for a minute.
Yeah, now, I mean, their mission accomplished about getting everyone excited about rugby.
You mentioned some of the positions in the scrum. I mean, you see these guys lined up. Are Are there actual positions in rugby?
In sevens, it's kind of loose. It's only in the scrums that it really applies. In 15s, yes, everyone has a position. And actually in 15s, it's a very slow game. It's, I think, an 80 or 90-minute game.
I see.
And every player's number corresponds to their position on the field. In sevens, it doesn't matter nearly as much. It's just basically do whatever the heck you want, it seems, right? But in 15s, it's a lot more organized. It's more of a slow developing game. You give it to your big guys up front, and they pound it, and then you swing it out to your fast, short guys, the small guys.
So sevens, I was going to say, it's just the fast guys.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you'll have your athletic props and stuff that play 15s, but sprinting like that for 7 minutes alone, that burns you out. You need to be in some peak conditioning, let alone the 14 minutes that an actual sevens game would be played.
So they cut the time of the game down as well.
Yeah, in order to meet our time requirements. So we got the scrum here.
Now, Alex has zoomed in on the actual scrum, but we see guys lined diagonally backwards.
Looks like two big dippers.
And you want that. Good. Thank you, Bob. And you want that because of the nature of the game, you have to pass backwards. So you want to have that momentum.
So they're prepped.
Yeah, they're
in
they're
theory
prepped.
for
no
the
pun
run up the
intended.
field.
They are prepped. Did you get it?
Yeah, that was good, man.
I was really hoping Rob would acknowledge that joke because he's.
I'm
That's
enthralled
a try.
by this.
Oh no, it is not. He's really slow, actually.
Jeez, Tyler.
So now when you go to the
why don't you tell us about your career at Drexel?
I was
the
also
rugby
equally
team.
slow. I was known as Stone Hands because I couldn't catch the ball. So
what a fight into the try zone! Wow.
Try time, boys. Try time.
That's their try. The third try. They've tried the try. Tripled the try. Triple try. Triple try. Is that a thing?
Sure. We'll call it a hat trick.
In this sevens, a hat trick. Is that a term in rugby?
I don't think they
I'm
throw
going
that
to go ahead and
three
say
times?
no. I'm not a rugby guy.
We're all learning here
So
tonight.
typically you score and you get 5 points, and then you get a chance to convert for 7. They're not doing the kicks, but it's basically a field goal.
Okay.
Where you score in the zone actually affects where you kick from. So you want to score in the center of the zone. That's why you'll
to have a more direct kick into the. Is it a goalpost or is it something else?
Rob, I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. For all of our viewers that have tuned in the last 7 to 8 minutes, this is halftime of the LaSalle versus St. Joseph's Prep football game, and we are showcasing a LaSalle versus St. Joseph's Prep Rugby 7 match as part of the showcase that they do every single year in the halftime portion of the regular season matchup between these two teams. So this is awesome. We've had a lot of fun watching, learning, enjoying.
Certainly.
Hoping that everybody is remaining healthy and uninjured.
Hard to believe.
If you're confused, tuning in thinking you were catching LaSalle Prep football, I mean, just imagine us up here trying to commentate on this.
I wanted to take the time and have like a relaxed commentary and inform the people.
Is that an interception? Or just a turnover?
Turnover. Just call it a turnover.
Okay. Oh, man.
Now you got guys rucking and guys counter-rucking. You kind of form a line over the down man, and you have to go over that guy. You can't come from the outside. You have to go directly over him. That's what you'll see.
Rucking tackling?
Rucking is what you call when they're over top of the tackled guy already.
Okay.
So you basically want to have one guy rucking and another guy grabbing the ball from his down teammate and whipping.
So that's what I was going to get.
Yeah.
Before Bob. Explaining what we're watching here.
Yes.
But
halftime.
when you are down, the guy that's down with the ball, like what's the game plan there? What's sort of the strategy there as you're on the ground?
When you're down, you need to get the ball to your teammate. You can't just get up.
You can't move.
Yeah, you basically want to put the ball straight back. You want to kind of be bent at the waist and make yourself as narrow as possible for what I think they call a gate. And the narrowest gate possible. If you're laying basically 180 degrees across the field, they can come in from any angle. So they got to go right over you. They got to basically straddle you in order to get the ball. So basically here.
Uh-oh. Shutout no more. It's a try for the prep. Now I feel like I'm getting into the flow of this.
Yeah. It's getting, now that the initial craziness is done and all the adrenaline is starting to.
The hits aren't as hard either.
Yeah,
it's clear they're getting tired.
They're exhausted. It's incredibly tiring.
And this has been 13 minutes of this so far already, so, I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah, usually they get like a 7-minute break or a couple-minute break in between.
Well, they're going to be forced off the field here soon because back onto the field in the back, right behind the prep line.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So that's a knock-on. Now prep has advantage, so if they lost the ball, there would be a penalty against them.
Oh, boy. It's just nonstop.
And that is a wrap. I did not get to explain as much as I'd like to or even talk about the history of the game because it just happened.
But, hey, we had beautiful. Fun. We had fun.
We want to thank our good partners at Dunphy Ford. This halftime show has been brought to you free of commercials by Dunphy Ford in the Northeast. Kevin Dunphy, a great man who runs a great dealership, a family dealership at 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. DunphyFord.com is where you can check them out. And they have been our title sponsor for going on 5 years, guys. They're a big part of the reason we are where we are today. So many thanks to them and for LaSalle and for St. Joe's Prep and the rest of the high school football community all throughout Philadelphia. Think of Dunphy Ford as your spot to buy or lease a new or used car. Again, 7700 Frankfurt Avenue, DunphyFord.com. And this Rugby Sevens commercial-free halftime show brought to you by Dunphy Ford.
And what a halftime show it was, Bob. I believe that LaSalle's running pretty good. Apparently they have a great program. They've been state champs 15 and 16, apparently. I did not know that. Coach Matt Derrick, my former track coach, and Mrs. Nedzwecki coaching as well, also known as Miss Coin to all those who might have had one of her math classes. Yeah, I'm really glad they put that program together. It's actually a really fun sport, and I highly recommend looking more into the rules and kind of just getting into it. Like it's a really exciting sport to watch, and there's a lot of interesting.
It was something, let me tell you. It's high octane, just nonstop. And certainly a lot of fun. The kids are having fun, too. I mean, they're getting down in front of the student section there and they're celebrating their halftime win. Throwing shirts. They still got energy. Who said they tired themselves out?
That ref was playing a little fast and loose there, I believe. Not that.
Was he playing at all is my question. I saw him wave his arms once or twice, but I don't know.
Boys, I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay of this one. Your reactions were just...
I was really caught off guard. I did not know what to expect.
I think you're both ragging on it a little too much. I had a great time
watching
awesome.
It. I
thought
fun.
It was fantastic.
It was incredible.
Ragging on it? No, we were standing up for it. It's a great game.
I mean, very exciting.
Good.
I'm telling people to get involved in the sport of rugby.
They should.
Apparently, it's coming up in the high school level. It's incredibly popular in literally every country except the U.S. How
about that? Well, hey, we appreciate you, Tyler, a 4-year rugby player at Drexel University, for being uniquely positioned to give us some background as we watched what was, again, a tremendous 14 minutes of action in Rugby Sevens here at Wissahickon High School at halftime, LaSalle versus St. Joseph's Prep. Second half kick will come up in just a few minutes. We'll be back. Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern, and Alex Krastowski on camera here on our broadcast of LaSalle College High School football on Bob Long Sports.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
I chose CCM because I have found that this company, on the level of scaling that we have here, the volume that we are doing, to truly have every department head and employee fully engaged in the mission of the company to make it an originator-focused, production-first company. I have not found that anywhere I've worked, and I've worked at one of the largest banks in the world, down to the smallest tiny community bank and correspondent lender. no one has been able to consistently deliver that message.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report live on Bob Long Sports. Today we're going to talk about the offensive line and our man of the hour, the chef, the man himself, Des Holmes and Mike Miranda, your disruptors on the Penn State offensive line.
This year, you're going to see all 4 guys run. They all bring a different style.
The quarterback is going to read the defensive end's eyes and make a determination. Am I going to keep this football or am I going to hand it off to the running back? And that is generally the point of the RPO. Look who we have. We have Chris Perangeli, our guest picker for the evening.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
Welcome back inside Wissahickon High School, beginning of the second half here between St. Joseph's Prep and LaSalle. Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern, Alex Kristowski is here on camera. Follow us at Bob Long Sports on Twitter, Facebook, and you can subscribe to our YouTube page to get updates for when we're going live with all LaSalle College High School broadcast football, basketball, and additional sports as they get into the postseason here for their fall sports. LaSalle will receive the kick to begin the second half. And once again, Chada, as he has every time, puts it into the back of the end zone. We have some first half stats here brought to us by our good friend Huck Palmer. Huck Palmer is a tremendous asset for the Philadelphia high school football community and beyond. He keeps the stats that used to be kept on Ted Solari's website. In fact, you can go through Ted Solari's website for the link to Huck's stats. And Ted, we appreciate him continuing to allow that. But Huck doing absolute yeoman's work this year, keeping the stats for all Philadelphia Catholic League games. And with that, I will send it to Rob after this opening play of the second half. As Melman heads up the middle, a good gain there, a gain of 9.
So, first half stats, LaSalle rushed the ball 12 times for 41 yards, so make that 13 for 50 right there on the first play of the second half. Jack Machida, 5 for 11 for 34 yards. 23 plays for a total of 75 yards there in the first half, making 5 first down conversions. And LaSalle was 1 for 5 on third downs.
And enough for a first down there. Tim Melman, 2 hard-earned yards.
So those 75 yards for LaSalle. On the other side of the football, you had 40 plays for 425 yards. So you're averaging over 10 yards a play for St. Joseph's Prep. It's 22 rushes for 157 yards. And Kyle McCord, 13 of 18 for 268.
Machida steps up, now takes off with it, has a lot of room to run, takes a big hit out of bounds, a gain of 12. First down for LaSalle, and the offense moving here to begin the second half.
Just to wrap up those stats, 21 first downs for St. Joe's Prep and 7 for 7, a perfect 7 for 7 on third down conversions.
A good look at the end of that run. Machida understands where the linebackers were coming from. There was a drop-off and an opening on the right side, and he just tucked it and ran with it. He's a great athlete.
Imagine Jeremiah Trotter Jr. running after you like that.
Sam Brown wrapped up by Jeremiah Trotter in there on the stop, the middle linebacker. Reminder that this game is in the process of a running clock throughout the second half by virtue of St. Joe's Prep 5-touchdown lead over LaSalle, the 35-point threshold.
We saw Sam Brown there get a half-yard gain. Certainly a key piece of this offense that I'm sure St. Joe's spent an entire 2 weeks getting prepared for, and they've done just that. Sam Brown, a guy we've seen 9 touchdowns over 2 games, and I think he had another 4-touchdown game in there, just unable to get going tonight.
Sam Brown has room on the outside, a good block there, but perhaps it was of an illegal variety. There's a flag on the field right in the area of where Liam Kennedy's block was.
Saw the hands go up, and that's going to draw the attention of any referee when your hands are in the air like, I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it currently. Maybe I was.
And it was a hold. And they will mark it 10 yards from the spot.
So it would have been a third down, I should say, and 3. No, second down. So now it's second down, and they say 12. Second down and 12 from the 41-yard line. Clock ticks under 9 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the third. St. Joseph's Prep that aforementioned 5-touchdown lead. Machida. Vespi incomplete, and Liam Johnson. A little bit too much contact.
I was going to say that as that flag comes flying in, that was a lot of contact in the secondary. Vespi basically getting hugged by his man. If anything, it was illegal contact downfield, but I believe the call there ends up being a pass interference. So one way or the other.
Holding, actually.
Or holding.
Automatic first down.
Yep. Say one way or the other, a first down for the Explorers. So big first down.
No, the play didn't pan out, obviously, but it was a great job by the Explorers offensive line taking out that blitz. Didn't give Machida much time, but, I mean, he put that ball where Vespi could catch it. Yeah.
So
I guess not an automatic
10-yard penalty here, and that's not an automatic first down at the high school level?
That's interesting.
If that's the rule, it's a rule I should have known, but that's odd at best.
I'm questioning the rugby rules. You're questioning the football rules, Bob.
Typically any defensive penalty.
That's not necessarily true. Offside, things like that.
Yep.
But defensive holding at every level.
Any during the course of play penalty. It's like a moving violation as opposed to a non-moving violation when you're driving. The moving violations in football typically result in first downs.
These Explorers, they got to convert on this third down. They got to show some signs of life on offense, and I mean, against a defense like this, it's not going to get much. It's about as tough as it's going to get.
Third down and 5, under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Machida in the shotgun with 4 receivers. They'll change the play at the line. They'll drop a second safety into coverage. Machida finds Brown. Got to make one miss and can't. Wrapped up there on second effort by Jeremiah Trotter Jr. It'll be 4th down and 3.
Might as well go for it. Got nothing else to lose in this game. Down 35 at midfield, essentially. The Explorers keeping the offense on the field. And just to give you a sense of how wrapped up the St. Joe's Prep Hawks have kept, we talk about Brown and this offense. 4 rushes for 5 yards in the first half. More stats coming in from Huck. And 4 receptions for 26 yards for Sam Brown in that first half.
4th down, LaSalle offense remains on the field.
And if you're Prep, obviously you're keying off Sam Brown. You've seen the film. You've seen what he can do.
Drops straight back, fires over the middle, just beyond Vespi's outstretched arm, and LaSalle turns the football over.
They had a chance there. It was a great job by Vespi on that route. He's got nice and open there.
Had a little bit of separation just out of his reach.
That's about all the separation you can ask for against St. Joe's Prep.
This offense just unable to get anything going tonight, but it's got to be frustrating. But the level of competition on the other side of the field is unlike anything they've seen this year.
Yeah, and I got to hand it to Prep for going on that schedule that they did in the preseason. I think it gave them a lot of experience, and it's showing tonight. It's going to show through the whole Philadelphia Catholic League and the whole state.
Well, there's no doubt that on the St. Joe's Prep side, they have sent a message to the rest of the state of Pennsylvania. Here's a flag coming in, multiple flags. This will come back. Pretty good run there by Barlow, but perhaps set up by a hold. We await the call. St. Joe's Prep will mark it back 10 yards.
I will say Prep has gotten quite a few penalties tonight. I'm not sure the exact number, but that's got to be close to double digits, and it has not impacted them in the slightest. The 1st and 35 is the perfect example of that.
So a downfield hold on that one, so they only really, in essence, lose 2 yards on the play. So 1st and 12.
Under 6 minutes to play as that ball's on the ground. McCord gets rid of it, and it was nearly caught by Samir Hagens.
Really?
But incomplete pass, and St. Joe's Prep avoids one there.
Really the first mistake we've seen by Prep. Just a low snap there. Maybe McCord. Seemed like it was a run play. Just a low snap, unable to haul it in, and ending up having to throw that ball away. Nearly, though, again, despite the miscue, almost making converting a completion there.
McCord in the shotgun. Barr takes the handoff right up the middle. Pretty good defense there by LaSalle, but Barr able to fall forward for a gain of 4. 3rd down and 8 upcoming as we tick under 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
That might be Prep's shortest run of the night.
Pick up a 4.
Yeah.
A short 4.
We're just really impressive team overall here. I mean, defense, Explorers can't get anything going on offense. I mean, Prep's showing a very versatile, dynamic offense. It starts up front with the line.
Isaiah Turner couldn't wrap up. Savage in there on the stop, along with Abdul Carter. It will be 4th down at about 5. Now, I tell you guys, I mean, St. Joe's Prep, I don't know if they needed to send a message, but they have sent a message to the rest of the state of Pennsylvania that the games we were playing against national teams, they were no joke. And we were hanging with some pretty darn good teams, and we, St. Joe's Prep are a pretty darn good team ourselves. And, there are some folks on the other side of the state. North Allegheny ranked number 5. Pine Richland, who actually beat St. Joseph's Preps a few years ago in the state championship. They're going to be watching this game. They might be watching it right now after they got their games in on Friday and thinking, boy, there's a pretty good football team out there in District 12. And to LaSalle's credit, I mean, they're a darn good football team too. This Prep team's going to make a lot of teams look bad this year. It's just the nature of the beast.
Guys, a flag on the play that, got called off. It was 4th down. I don't know if it was too many men on the field, but a 5-yard penalty. LaSalle was looking at getting the ball back there for the first time on a defensive stop tonight, and a 5-yard penalty makes it a 1st down.
That would have been their first defensive stop.
Yep.
Yeah. It goes without saying you can't make mistakes like that against a team like this.
The clock ticks under 3 minutes and 45 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. McCord stays in the football game for now. Barr, the backup running back, bounces to the outside, cuts back in, has a lot of room to run. Brad Vespi make that Eric Ford, takes him down at the 15-yard line.
And you can see this defense is gassed. They've been out on the field. I'd be interested to see the time of possession, but it's obviously swung in favor of Prep. And yeah, it's hard being out in the field like that so often against, especially against some athletic.
Well, to that point, and maybe touch on it after this play. How do you stay in a game like this mentally? Looking at the scoreboard, knowing what it is, knowing that you've been just dominated on both sides of the ball. Having been, I don't know if you've been in a game like this, Tyler, but what's it like staying in and focused, during this type of game?
Yeah, it's difficult. Our second game of the year, Bergen Catholic, they smoked us at home in my 2011 season. And it's really hard taxing mentally. I mean, you spend essentially 2 weeks preparing for this game. You know what's coming, and it's going to be a battle, and it's hard. I think it really can help build a team, and you learn a lot from a loss. And this will be obviously the Explorers' first loss going the way this is going, but yeah, it's difficult. Another low slap.
Oh. Barr falls on the football. LaSalle had an opportunity to come up with that one.
And if T.J. Meacham's looking at the ball instead of trying to bring down Kyle McCord, he might have had a chance to come up with that one. He was in pursuit of, good old number 6, unable to scoop it there. Meacham might have had a chance to scoop it if he's looking at the ball, but fortunate for St. Joe's that they're able to recover there.
2 minutes, 12 seconds left. The clock ticks here in this running clock process. Another not-so-good snap, and Barr taken down by Isaiah Turner at the 13-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Not sure what the center situation is right now. Is a normal starter or not, but last couple of this drive in general, I've seen 2 low snaps.
Yeah, it does not look like the first-team center. This is Maximus Fisher, the junior, taking over for Matt McGeary, the senior, who is the normal center and now went out to left guard. Taken down at the 8-yard line. It'll be 4th down from there. And they'll send Antonio Chada out for some work to attempt a 25-yarder.
What have we seen with Chada tonight? He's got a boot. I mean, obviously we've only seen him on kickoffs, but I mean, it felt like he was aiming for the uprights on every kickoff.
And I know this is points, but at the very least, and also I know, Prep might not be at a point where they're feeling like just continuing to shove the ball down the Explorers' throat, but giving up that 5 yards and 1st down on 4th down, maybe a small win of sorts for the Explorers to hold Prep to 3 here.
Chada's kick is up and good. 38-0 St. Joseph's Prep adds on.
And especially with how St. Joe's Prep is playing tonight, obviously I think it's good to get your second-team reps in. I mean, you're a great team, and I mean, you never know about injuries. It's always good to have your players have game time experience, and I mean, this is a great time for them to do that.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Carrie Guerin Boyle and Jim McLaughlin of the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Jim is a LaSalle alumni. His father and 3 sons attended LaSalle. Carrie's family has been at LaSalle for generations, and she has a sophomore in the class of 2022. They've trusted their families to LaSalle, and you can trust that you'll be treated like family with the Berkshire Hathaway team with Carrie Guerin Boyle and Jim McLaughlin. Call Jim at 267-242-5991 or Carrie at 267-626-6818 for any real estate questions. Licensed in PA and New Jersey. Chada will kick it deep to LaSalle. Perhaps not deep. And now we'll take his steps back. It looked like perhaps they were thinking pooch. But when you have Chada putting it out of the end zone every time, you just take that. 47.5 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. This one will come down to Liam Kennedy, who catches it at the 3. Kennedy bounces to the middle. He gets out to the 20-yard line, and identical starting field position to the preceding touchbacks.
You can tell. I was going to say, you can tell from the beginning of the game, Liam Kennedy was excited to return balls. He's getting frustrated whenever Chada punched in the end zone, so I'm sure he was excited to be able to return that one. Fortunately, bounced it to the center of the field where all of the defenders were.
1st down and 10. Machida in the shotgun. Here comes Sam Brown in motion. They fake the give there. Pretty good coverage down the field. Liam Kennedy can't bring it in. It's a good throw for Machida. It's the only place he really could throw it, but that would have been asking a lot from Kennedy, and just tremendous coverage.
It was, and, Machida running out to his right with pressure, and, like you said, Bob, the only spot he could have put it, and Kennedy just unable to haul it in. It would have been a tough grab, certainly. A really exceptional one if he did bring it in, but nonetheless, we are going to the 4th with a 2nd and 10 for the Explorers.
We head to the 4th indeed, and this portion of today's game brought to you by Casey's Alley in Ambler. Well, if you're looking for something to do after the game, and perhaps you're heading there in delight or with a little bit of despair, Casey's Alley is a great spot to take the whole family, have some food, have a drink. Great specials on every day and night of the week. And I think I'm going to be heading over there after the game, so would love to see anybody there associated with LaSalle. They've been a great partner with us, a title sponsor this year, and really appreciate them. It's a spot where you can go and watch future LaSalle college high school football games.
So bring your Bob Long merchandise and your Sharpie markers, and you might get yourself an autograph.
And if you're lucky, I might provide the Sharpie marker. All you got to need is bring some swag. I'll take care of the rest. Crossing route, Rob Tatum couldn't come down with it.
And we're in the final quarter here, and I asked this almost tongue-in-cheek, Bob, but we know that stat from Bill Wazelenko about LaSalle shutouts. Does that include LaSalle being shut out?
It does
LaSalle
not.
Putting up a shutout.
It does not. The defense shutting out the opponent.
So we'll have to.
This is a rarity.
Week.
To your point, this is a rarity for this LaSalle team to get shut out. Very few times in recent history has that happened. Machida will fire it over the top, and there's a pass interference call. Liam Kennedy was going for it, didn't really have a chance to make that play, but impeded his progress, that cornerback.
I was actually surprised by that. It seemed uncatchable to me.
Watson out there, yeah, maybe overthrown, but LaSalle, they'll take it.
Yeah, I mean.
Maybe a little holding. It doesn't look like they're going all the way downfield or even 15 yards for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of St. Joe's starters still out there, but you'd like to see the Explorers move the ball a little bit more on their second team defense at least.
Machida, he'll throw that lob again, this time for Tatum, and it's well overthrown.
Down 38-0, running clock in the final quarter. LaSalle, not that the situation dictates it, but they've been doing this kind of all game, taking their shots. It's you play a little more open right now, I think, given the current situation. So nice to see a couple shots downfield by Machida.
I'd like to see a little bit of success on offense tonight.
They're going to bring their safety over to the near side where Sam Brown and Liam Kennedy are split out wide. Brown across the middle makes the play, but pushed back immediately. Good defensive play there by number 40, Josiah Trotter. Yes, related by blood, a brother of Jeremiah Trotter.
I am not surprised that
Sam Brown comes up a little hobbled there. I mean, he got tackled one way and then tackled immediately the opposite direction, just sandwiched by two prep guys.
Yeah,
that is the last thing you need. That is the last thing you need if you're LaSalle. And you hope that Sam is feeling better. He did come off the field jogging with some pace. Good throw there, and Liam Kennedy, by virtue of his knee being down, is going to have to be spotted back at the 44. So, yes, he wasn't contacted, but nonetheless.
It is high school.
It is high school and even college at that level played that way.
And the NFL now, if you're a quarterback and you're running.
Yes, and you dive head first. No more
matter.
Eli Manning play from 5 or so years ago. Machida looking for somebody and takes off with it. This is a good run from Jack Machida. A gain of 12 yards down to the 44 of St. Joseph's Prep with 9:04 to play in the fourth quarter.
A nice fourth down conversion there, too, for the Explorers. So able to keep the drive alive.
They'll throw the tunnel screen for Liam Kennedy. Met at the line and bounces off a tackler. A high step inside the 25. Boy, I like that high step there.
You see that? A little bit of swagger in that run. Acting like he's going to go for the juke. A little bit.
Oh, yeah. Give me that.
That is something.
You can tell he's been itching to get the football.
Quickly back to the line. Tim Millman takes the give and has a big hole. Tatum on the block inside the 10-yard line to about the 5. It was close, but I think perhaps the right call, not calling this hold on Tatum here. Let's get another look. Maybe it's a little late in the game and the whistle doesn't blow. But a great run from Tim Melman. LaSalle looking to get on the board. At the prep 5-yard line, Machida takes off with it. Stutter step, spins, and will get 1 yard. 2nd down and goal from the 4.
You'd like to see the Explorers see the end zone once tonight. Just like I said, it's more about kind of showing some poise and, face of defeat, riding out to that final whistle. And it'll be a good lesson for the rest of their season here.
The freshman Mayo Howell is the tailback in this pistol formation. He'll bounce to the outside, and he's down at the 2. Dove forward with a herd of St. Joe's Prep Hawks in front of him.
He's quick.
Of course, Hawks are not a herd.
And but something to note right now, Sam Brown running back onto the field. So nice to see him, after hobbling off a little earlier in this drive, get back on the field. Near the goal line, no less.
Will it be Sam Brown to take the cap off it for LaSalle? Dives for the end zone. Touchdown, LaSalle. Sam Brown puts the Explorers on the board with 6:43 to play in the 4th quarter.
You like to see it.
Hey, they're hanging in there. They're driving hard. They found a way down the field and into the end zone. Nobody's out there quitting, which you can appreciate.
Yeah, you never want to see that. Like I said, you never know what happened, and I think this is a good experience for close games coming up. In the face of being down a bit, being able to kind of persevere. And I think it's just good experience overall for these Explorers.
Felt like an angry kick from Gandolfo. Hasn't seen the field much tonight. Powering that one through.
It's the second kick of the night, you're right.
And the first was the opening kickoff.
Yep.
Now he's punted a few as well, but in terms of kicks.
Onside?
Why not, Rob? Riverboat Rob.
No, not even that. I mean, the game's done, right? Well, I don't want to say, you never want to say the game's done, but it's an opportunity in a live game situation to practice it.
Sure.
The way head coach Steinmetz is talking to the special teams, I would not be surprised. He just spoke with them for about 30 seconds, pointing all different ways. And, again, good real game time experience. I don't know if they've gone for any onside kicks in their first 4 games of the year, but it's no skin off their back if they fail to come up with it.
I like the AC/DC coming out from the pep band tonight.
Thunder.
Glad we were on the same page with that one, Bob.
42.
Expect the onside kick to the close side of the field here. Nope.
Little pooch. Caught at the 20. Cutting upfield at the 30-yard line and up to the 35. And a good return there by number 31, Trey Doyle.
His third kick of the night.
6:36 to play in the 4th quarter.
He's getting warmed up now.
Jalen DeVoe's coming off the field, hobbling a little bit. Well, guys, I'll say this. Last year's game that you guys broadcast together on Bob Long Sports looked a lot like this one. But those teams did meet again. And LaSalle had a lead going into the 4th quarter of the District 12 semifinal. And there's a big stop there on the outside by Ryan Savage. And St. Joe's Prep was able to pull away, win that football game with a 4th quarter rally. But last year, a LaSalle team improved dramatically from this very weekend to the end of the season. And that's got to be the message for John Steinmetz, Joe Wade, and the rest of the assistants here on this team, as another good stop by a cavalcade of Explorers. Chris Thompson in there along with Ryan Savage. And so that has to be the message going forward here. It's how do we improve as a football team, and how do we prepare for a November 9th Friday night date, perhaps, with St. Joseph's Prep.
I think you take it 1 week at a time, Bob. You take the loss here, you evaluate the film, see where you went wrong. Obviously it's a better team, but you see where you can improve as well. And just kind of look on to next week, get that win, and kind of try to hang on in the Catholic League here.
Dane Piccarello is the new quarterback just into the game. Bryce Goodman, number 24, took that rush to the outside. It'll be 4th down. LaSalle will get the football back. The clock ticks under 4 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the 4th and final quarter of play.
You know, you don't want to look too far ahead. Obviously, you know, these are high school kids. It's any given Friday night, Saturday. Anything can happen between now and the end of the season, but the way things have gone thus far, you imagine these two are on a crash course again for another game.
Went up and got it. Atkins, what a tremendous and athletic play just to get that punt off.
Wow. But just to finish that thought, you know, you anticipate a second matchup is certainly coming between these two. So, you know, to your point, Tyler, you get in the film room, you see where you can improve, you see what mistakes were made, you know, where the coverages were missed. You know, you try to find something. These coaches, they'll do their homework. You know, they'll try to find something that, you know, they can kind of hang their hats on with this one, and you learn from it. It's a learning experience, and you're going to get hit in the mouth sometimes. And tonight for LaSalle, you know, it unfortunately came at the hands of the marquee rival, you know, the nationally ranked St. Joe's Prep football team here. But, you know, it's a learning experience, and it's what these kids will do, and they'll come back.
This is Gavin Daly, the backup quarterback, into the game. Rush up the middle for 2 yards. One more reminder about the LaSalle Open House taking place tomorrow, Sunday, September 29th. Mass begins at 8:15 a.m. with the open house running from 9 to 12. Pre-register online at lschs.org. /admissions, I should say. lschs.org/admissions. But walk-ups are always welcome. Find the path available to you at LaSalle College High School with the open house tomorrow. Mayo Howell bounces to the outside.
A little stiff arm.
Stiff arm and a gain of 9 yards for a first down. 3 minutes, 9 seconds left to play, and the clock continues to tick as just a drop or two of rain begins to come down here at Wissahickon High School.
And I'll take that last chance, too. A reminder that LaSalle College High School, the Alumni Association, for the high school, will be hosting a business networking happy hour at McGurk's in Fort Washington on Wednesday, October 2nd from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Let's come out to there. The old bent elbow, as they used to call it before it became McGurk's. We're on Bethlehem Pike.
2:29 to play. Clock continues to tick. Good to get Gavin Daly some snaps here as well. Not just the second teamers from St. Joseph's Prep out there at this point. Mayo Howell's had a great season thus far and has a nice run there. Gain of just 3. But, boy, you feel like when he has space, he's close to breaking it out every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, just a nice weapon. You know, maybe an undersized, kind of like a Darren Sproles type weapon for these Explorers. If you give him space to run, he'll find it, and you know, just barely unable to duck under that tackle.
I'll throw this out there, Rob. He's going to be a very good high school football player by the time he's done. Gavin Daly makes one miss, makes another miss, and inside the 40. A gain of 5 when he needed 3. A first down for LaSalle with the clock at 1:44 to play.
You know, we said it about Hal, but just to reiterate, a freshman. You know, we've seen that over the past couple of years with LaSalle. Willing to bring up a couple freshmen to this varsity squad and give them an opportunity, give them a look in certain situations, and how one of those, you know, special guys, kind of like Sam Brown last year, given the chance and able to do something, and we see what Brown's doing.
Mayo Howell
again.
He's going to dart for the end zone. Touchdown, LaSalle.
I talk about him and he delivers. What a run by Howell, just making men miss.
Talk about him more often.
Taking a backwards pass, lifting it off of the turf, and then just a little bit of room. You see that tight window he has to work his way through. The speed of Howell, the size maybe too, makes him a little tough to bring down in space. And just darts it off to the house. LaSalle putting their second touchdown drive together successfully
Playing
here.
for a bit of pride here.
Jake Gandolfo to attempt the point after. Oof. That one is no good. Didn't come off the foot right for Gandolfo. 38-13 with 1:19 to play. Guys, I appreciate you coming out here tonight. This was a highly anticipated football game. I know there were a lot of people looking forward to our broadcast, and appreciate everybody that did tune in. You can tune in to Bob Long Sports for all future LaSalle College High School football and LaSalle College High School basketball games over the course of the 2019-2020 school year. Rob Stott, Tyler Kern have done a great job all season long. Alex Krastowski on camera doing a great job this evening. The month will turn to October, and it's a new day for LaSalle. And this football team looking to improve and getting a little bit better each week. They came in with the number 3 ranking in the state, and without a doubt that will take a little bit of a hit, but that does not deter from the overall goal, which is getting back into the weight room, getting back into the locker room, talking about things together, getting back on the practice field, and trying to get a little bit better each week, as Tyler so appropriately put. And to prepare for what could be, and has been for the last 5 seasons, a rematch in the District 12 final. LaSalle and St. Joseph's Prep. Last year, Game 1 went a lot similarly to this one. Game 2 of 2019, if we're so fortunate to have it, only time will tell. But Game 2 of 2018 was a heck of a lot different than Game 1. St. Joe's Prep will get it back with 1:19 to play. And Kyle McCord continues to sit, but his day was nothing short of unbelievable. An Ohio State commit, and perhaps Ryan Day is going to have his eyes on the highlights from this one. He was tremendous, lived up to the hype. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a touchdown reception and a whole bunch of yards. Colby Burrell heading to Buffalo next year. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground. And it was a rush-first attack, guys, from St. Joseph's Prep. It hasn't been that way all season. But Colby Burrell was the driver of the engine here tonight and was a big part of their runaway victory this evening. Good run here by Barlow. Barlow turns on the Jets. Looking to add one more score for St. Joseph's Prep, and he will.
Wow.
Joshua Barlow, the sophomore running back.
Wow. Barlow with some good stats tonight.
Yeah.
That will help.
It's slightly.
The yards per carry number just took a nice jump forward.
And now we have a stoppage. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against St. Joseph's Prep.
You can't do that.
Again,
they're going to enforce that on the kickoff.
A lot of penalties on Prep tonight, but they're such a good team that it didn't really seem to hinder them in the slightest. There was one touchdown called back, but I believe they still scored on that drive, and it's been tough. It's a good team. They're going to go far in the state playoffs this year, as they always do.
Perhaps the most unbelievable stat of them all is that their first-team offense didn't have a drive that did not end in a touchdown.
Yeah.
Can't ask for anything better than that.
We got
too many men.
Yep. The ref was waiting there, waiting for the.
So they're going to move this one back 5 yards. The 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct will be enforced on the kickoff.
It's like waiting to tell someone a secret when you're a ref. You see the 12 men on the field. You're like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. You got to figure out for yourself. And then he lines up for the kick. He's like, there it is. Now I'm going to tell you.
Michael Campbell, the backup kicker. And this is an opportunity here for LaSalle, perhaps, if they can. Nope. So, again, if they were able to come up with that while on their feet and return it back, you're talking about a safety. But the extra point is obviously no good. And LaSalle will get the ball back with 1 minute left.
So, Bob, Casey's Alley, huh?
Yes, sir. You heading there after?
Maybe.
Good.
Just, making small talk while the kickoff lines up for all of our good people watching, trying to convince them to go.
Absolutely. Casey's Alley and Ambler right by the train station. There's parking right there at the station. Walk on over. Great food specials on every single evening. And folks, what?
Or take the safe route. Just take the train there and walk over.
From Wissahickon?
No, well, from wherever you're coming from, right off from the Ambler train station. You're saying so.
Fair enough.
Wherever you're listening from, because
that's true.
You're not at the game. So take the train there. You don't have to drive home.
That's a brilliant point. Although we do need to start telling people, the people in the stadium, they can and should watch too.
Hey,
we have the option to have replay. They have the option to see the replay. So the folks that are watching the game or will be at future games, you should turn this on your phone, and you can get a replay of the action. So
one person I know was watching from the stadium. Uncle Dave was here and shouted
up
to us. Said we should come down at some point. He had some T-shirts or something like that.
Yes,
Bob.
he does. So I have T-shirts for all you guys from the boathouse.
Wow,
fun stuff.
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet Uncle Dave. I know he is listening, or at least watching. I don't know if he has headphones on, but told me he was going to be watching so he could see the replay. So there is precedent. You can watch the game from inside the stadium.
Liam Kennedy fields it at the 30, out to the 40, into the 50, trying to make one miss. Ran into his own player. And I don't know if this is going to show up, but a big bolt of lightning as Liam Kennedy runs into the back of Jalen DeVos.
Just creating Mother Nature, creating things in the weather.
Liam Kennedy ran into his teammate so hard that he created a bolt of lightning.
Bring the lightning and the thunder.
I don't know if the refs didn't see that, but, I guess 49 seconds. Just going to run this one out.
Yeah, gotta need a quick cleanup, Bob, of your setup here.
We'll work on that.
Just you can pull the car up right behind, and we can drop it from up here, yeah.
Our next football game is LaSalle against Father Judge as Mayo Howe's taken down for a big loss. That's next Saturday, October the 5th at Upper Dublin High School. That's a 7 p.m. kick.
And Coach Wade waving his team off to the side. I think that's looking like it's it.
Under 15 seconds left, we will not get another snap. And St. Joseph's Prep, in a much-anticipated football game across the state of Pennsylvania, wins it in a big way, 44-13. Absolutely solidifies their spot as the top team in the state of Pennsylvania. And for LaSalle, lick the wounds, get forward, and prepare yourself for the rest of this season. We've had this rematch 5 years in a row in the District 12 final. So perhaps we shall see it again. And will LaSalle be prepared in the way they were last year? They took a fourth quarter lead, and St. Joe's Prep came back and won that football game. No fourth quarter lead here tonight, though. St. Joe's Prep dominates in every facet of the football game, and they have a talented team as good as any Hawks team that I've seen in my time covering Philadelphia high school football.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, you start with the names that are familiar to you. Kyle McCord, maybe not a household name to those watching, but should be, and certainly will be sometime soon.
I think he might be already.
Yeah, if he isn't already. But when I say household, I mean the names that are certainly going to sound familiar, like a Marvin Harrison and a Jeremiah Trotter. But you can add McCord to that list in the state of Pennsylvania. I mean, just up and down. Beyond those three, we saw it all tonight on both sides of the ball. For Prep, they have that number one ranking in the state and certainly ranked nationally for a reason as well. I mean, they put on a show tonight. The Explorers just too much to handle for prep, and give it a hand to these kids for sticking it out, given that type of situation, and battling, continuing to battle throughout the night, and put some points on the board, and just be the LaSalle Explorers we've come to know, and just never giving up.
Yeah, not much more to add there. It was a tough one. There will be games always where you're playing against a better team and they beat you in every facet of the game. It's unfortunate. It's hard to watch, especially as a fan. But I think we see something special in this Explorers team. They've certainly stepped up in the first 4 games. They got knocked down a little bit in their 5th game against highly touted St. Joe's Prep, number 1 in the state, and I think number 11 in the country. You can't get much better game experience than that. Hopefully they use this lesson and kind of just take it 1 week at a time, and hopefully, as Bob said, see them again in the playoffs. I like what I see with this Explorers team, and tune in next week.
Certainly one of the cool things about LaSalle football, win or lose, they come over to the sideline, greet the fans, and enjoy that alma mater. It might hurt a little more after a loss like this, not feel as good after a loss like this, but certainly a fun thing to witness and a cool tradition for this program.
As lightning and thunder banks in the background, we're going to get out of here. Yep. Thanks for being with us, everybody. St. Joe's Prep sends a message to the rest of the state of Pennsylvania. 44-13 over LaSalle, and solidify that number 1 ranking. Thanks to Alex Krastowski for his wonderful camera work, as always. Thanks to Tyler Kern and Rob Stott for their great analysis, and for Tyler Kern especially for his expert rugby analysis.
I hope that was all right for you, Matt Derrick. I tried my best, but it was just fun to watch, and it was, I hope it got people interested in rugby. And best of luck to the Explorers rugby team in their upcoming season.
Next game for us, Saturday night, October 5th, homecoming. LaSalle hosting Father Judge, 7 p.m. from Upper Dublin. For our entire team here with Bob Long Sports, I am Bob Long, saying so long from Wissahickon High School. Your final, St. Joe's Prep 44, LaSalle 13.